evening, it is my sweets and buns. This is the day 6 of Spooktober gaming, together with Gyepi. I hope your day has been going well so far, or if it is beginning, that you're gonna have a Gyepi day. And today we're going to continue the vampires... I forgot the title. Once again, the vampires melody game. We're going to continue the adventure that we continued a bit yesterday. But yesterday I was a tad low energy just yet. But today I managed to be on time, more or less, as you can see. Am I a good foxy? Yes, I am. And I am more energetic. So that is goody. And yesterday we went through some unexpected scenes. As in, I did not expect this game to feature some graphic violence. And now we do know that we do have to pick the double coming to that. But also, goodness, at that scene where we could see the panties of the girl, I was freaking out. I was freaking out because I was thinking there will be some 18 plus content, but that is not the case. We managed to rob a sushi gang of money, and now we are thinking of how to proceed, because we want to rent an apartment together with our vampire mistress. So we're gonna see today how it is going to continue. Please let me know when I'm playing the game, in case there is necessary to perhaps bump a tad the audio, because I still am having a bit of insecurities coming to that with this game. For some reason it does appear lower to you than it should be actually, so yeah, that's it. Give me a moment, just a tiny moment. Okay, here we are. As I mentioned before, for some reason, it appears that my tracking is being captured better on my computer than when I'm streaming. I don't know why it does happen, but yeah. We will figure it out eventually. So, let's continue the game from where we left. Yesterday we managed to come upon an ending. At first I thought that we died and found ourselves in a different world. Then I thought that we did not die, but after all I think we died and ended up in another world of another visual novel that was realized by the same developer here, which was pretty cool, but also a sadish outcome, that is, as we could not discover the actual story of what did happen among me and this vampire girl. So afterwards we did pick the other choice to see how it goes forward, and we have to continue from there, okay? There we go. I messed up a bit the sequence of the upload files, but this is the latter one. Yes, okay. Please let me know if you want me to bump the audio bit, okay? Or if it does echo in my microphone. Still not solved. Sorry, I'm gonna eat an ice cream because I did not have a refreshing snack just yet. Ah, it melted! Ice cream melted. What the hell? It's gonna be more or less like yogurt, I guess. The next day, when the sun had just risen, Yella shook me awake and pestered me to set out as soon as possible, so I had to snap out of my sleepiness and go with her to Grapevine Street. So here we did manage to escape the burglars. Yella was heavily injured, but us, with her big brain, after half an hour that she was injured or something like that, overall it seemed long to me, we realized that we had bags of blood in our bag, so that we decided to administer it to her by mouth, because there was just a tiny bit of blood left. So we managed to make her regenerate a bit. And then we realized we lost all of the stolen money, because we lost it along together with all of the items along the way, because we did find a huge box with money, but we had to leave it there once it fell while escaping from the sushi gang, that is, the sushi organization. But afterwards, what did happen? These big brain fox to remember. We do have money inside the pockets as well. I do remember us stuffing them and being like so happy about it. So the main character, after all, did realize that as well. And we were quite satisfied because we had quite some money on us after all. So, let's see. After asking passers-by and checking the street signs, we reach Grapevine Street, which straddles both the city and the outskirts. Where's the tobacco specialty shop? Here, Yellow points to the most prominent building close by at one side of the street. No wonder that man called Francolin used this place as a marker. Yeah, right. We also remembered we cannot stay at any hotel because we have no document so far. No ID cards and whatnot. And we'll get some information regarding another sushi guy that is able to provide us a fake car license. So we did call using the pay phone that we learned how to use and what it is made for back then. And I believe we are supposed to pay the guy. It is like in a conditioner selling shop or something like that. That the guy does provide fake IDs, licenses and whatnot. So we will have that one just in order to be able to spend the night at the hotel. Because so far we did sleep at a table of a restaurant. Hi Corvo Bianconero, how are you doing? Nice to see you around. Hi Baba. Faticato. By the way, Baba, I told everyone on the server that you made an order to me to make once again the pumpkin gratin. I told it to every cinnamon bun, so they can be mad at you. You placing orders at me? Huh? I will surely make it again too. It was quite good. Thank you for the hydrate redeem. Thank you, thank you. Oops. Goodness. Sorry about that. I eventually will get something to keep my phone on upper side, because when I slightly move here an arm or something, the tracking tilts and I start the brrrr vibrating session. Okay, Yellow points to the most prominent building close by at one side of the street. No wonder that man called Francolin used this place as a marker. So Francolin was the guy that did send us to another guy to get that fake car license. And it is not their true name, but we do not know that just yet. We arrive in front of the tobacco shop to see rows of goods behind the store's glass windows. Alright, we had to take a photo for the documents. Once we asked that the guy what is a photograph, he did tell us, no, just go to the tobacco shop and there you say to them you need a photography so we can get it. No one is willing to deal with us not knowing a thing from the modern society. People are mean. Not willing to explain what a photo is. I'm creating a huge mess with the melted ice cream, by the way. Give me a minute and I'll be back. Just a second. She is back, the Fox Goddess is back, and she's here to bring you a confession of vision of reading aloud. Okay, we arrive in front of the tobacco shop to see rows of goods behind the store's glass windows. Wow, the shop has a lot of this stuff. I didn't know there are so many different kinds of smokes nowadays. You smoke? How could I ever afford those? We only had mint leaves to chew at most. I heard the old continent didn't have tobacco in the past, so people would bring them over after discovering it in the new continent. So Cinnamon would appreciate some feedback coming to the background music if I should heighten it up a bit, or if it's just the voices that I have to bump a bit, or if everything is just good. Because when I rewatched the VOD, it seemed like the music was a tad low, but mainly the voices. I tried to up it a bit, to heighten the volume, but I'm not sure if that works fine for you. Is that so? But tobacco isn't good for the head. I have seen people who smoked too much of those and they went mad. It's so scary, but the rich enjoy smoking them. Whatever, we aren't coming here to buy tobacco anyway. Let's hurry up and get our photos or whatever. Okay. Since we have located the tobacco shop, we find the photo studio next to it very easily. However, we step out within 3 minutes after entering that shop. It hasn't gone bust or anything. Baba, are you still here perhaps? The Katto has passed away. Oh, okay. Can you please tell me if the audio levels are fine, or if I should bump the voices within the game? However, we step out within 3 minutes after entering that shop. It hasn't gone bust or anything. Damn, I washed my dress thoroughly last night. How come I couldn't clean it? Yeah, and suddenly the beautiful dress has torn apart while we were escaping through the tunnel gallery and whatever. Oh wait, that fancy dress. The studio owner told us we were dressed shabbily, and he couldn't produce any photo to meet the requirements in our current state, so he asked us to change into cleaner attire before returning to him. Make the voice a little higher. Okay, thank you. Pum 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 pum. The voice higher. Cha-ching. Okay. The studio owner told us we were dressed shabbily, and he couldn't produce any photo to meet the requirements in our current state, so he asked us to change it to cleaner attire before returning to him. So now we do even need the money for clothing. It is clothing, photo, and then the license, and then maybe we can sleep somewhere. We don't have that much cash on us. Jeez, now Yella is feeling downhearted at her dress being called dirty by others. But yeah, it got ruined, and Yella, I'm sorry about that as well. I'm the first one who was sad about it, believe me. I appreciate your fancy attire. Yes, in the past, no one would say my clothes were tattered if it only had a few small holes. A few small holes, you say. Needless to say, that studio owner pointed out that my clothes were tattered. The people of this age are so well-bred with such high standards. Never mind, I thought you said they're well-bred. We have money too. Let's buy some new clothes. You're right. She still sounds a little depressed, said maybe she really loves her dress. By the way, isn't the laundrette just next door, that place where we are supposed to put our money? Should have trained people to wash clothes for others. Laundrette? Right, those experts can certainly wash your clothes by hand more cleanly than you. That means you can wear it when they're done. And yeah, we were told to put the cash inside of one of the laundromats over there in order to pay for the fake car license. Hi Carbon, hi, how are you doing? Baba, what do you think? Does the audio sound good now, or...? You're right, let's look for new clothes then. She immediately perks up upon hearing that her dress can still be saved. Okay, let's walk around and see if we can find any clothes shops. Yes, I'm going to pick the clothes for this era. Oh, I did see her in another attire during the opening of this game. It was so cute. I was watching Smosh on YouTube. They just finished their D&D campaign and going through their fan art. Was that fun to see? Is it entertaining? As mentioned, I know nothing about that kind of stuff, so I still never watched them. I eventually may pick an eye at that kind of content someday, maybe. For once, we can leave behind all the stress from having to run and survive ever since we arrived at this new world. It's a good opportunity to take a leisurely walk and explore our surroundings. Baba Kitty. Can you please answer? Oh, okay, I don't understand if the voice is being picked up from your microphone or not. Ooh. Oh wait. Thank you for letting me know. It is pretty interesting. Smosh is just a bunch of improv comedians, so their D&D was very unusual compared to a normal game. Oh, I see. Sounds cool. The skirt looks rather nice, don't you think so? Do you really think that the main character can give you advice on fashion? No, he can't. I can, Yalla, but I'm sorry I'm not within the game. I'm the most fashionable fox out there. We're looking at the mannequins avant-garde and revealing attire through the shop's window. Isn't that too short? Goodness, here we go. A bit, still, it seems easy to move around in it, no? I begin to imagine how Yellow will look in that revealing dress. I can still remember that feeling when I touched her last night. Calm your hormones, main character. That's not bad. Kato, I require feedback once again, pretty please. Do you think it works well now, or... Sorry about that, cinnamon buns. We're trying to figure out the perfect audio level so that I can continue the stream properly. I think it works out. Okay, thank you. In case, just let me know, okay, if you think I need to change something. Like, if anyone does notice something that is off coming to the audio, please let me know. Why are you drooling? Are you looking for a beating? Yes, definitely. Hi? No, I was thinking about the roast chicken wings I had last night. Ah, this dress seems too gaudy. I quickly snap out of my daydream. The moment I realize Yella is glaring at me. Well, how about that one? Still okay, but the colors are too dull. First and foremost, I think you should wear something white and black and decorate it with other colors to make it more attractive. Are we becoming a fashion designer now? I look at the dress she's wearing and give her my opinion. It looks like we have more of an eye regarding clothing than I thought. Aren't you simply biased? Maybe, actually, you will look good in anything. Your figure is very, well, you will look very natural when you actually wear them. I can help myself from tracing the air with my hand. Baba. I can help myself from tracing the air with my hands and imagine that sensation when I touched her. I wonder if I will ever get a chance to experience that again. But if it comes with that kind of danger like last night, forget it. Give me a moment. Okay. I can help myself from tracing the air with my hands and imagine that sensation when I touched her. I wonder if I will ever get a chance to experience that again. But if it comes with that kind of danger like last night, forget it. When you give such a superficial explanation, I can't really decide whether I should hit you or thank you. Well, seeing is believing. Why don't you go in and try them out? After all, we have money. True, let's go. Yella enters the shop excitedly, putting our contention behind her. Eventually, she chooses a green skirt and a white blouse. She looks slightly less mysterious and a little more refreshing compared to earlier. Is this the outfit? Yeah! It is the one I saw in the opening. So cute! She's so cute! How is it? Goodness, adorable. Yella grabs her skirt and turns one around while asking me. Oh, she got even the ribbon details upon the hair on the lower side. So nice. This design is so cool. Very nice. It has a different style and a little more lovely. That goes without saying. Oh, sorry. I did not want to interrupt you, miss. I just cannot understand just yet the proper timing to speak up. I apologize. That goes without saying. Your clothes aren't bad too. It befits my servant. Needless to say, she also picked a set of new clothes for me. Although I wanted to make my selection based on my perception of beauty, she rejected all my choices. Well done, Yella. That's the correct choice there. I didn't even get to choose. Are you blowing your own trumpet? Of course, I have good dress sense. Sincerity to its best. That means I look more handsome now? Yella scolds at me in return. Oh, did Tzuntura compliment us? No. Handsome. Forget it, you will never bear any resemblance to such a word, even if you have a layer of gold plated on your face. You're at it again, can't you see that I'm an attractive guy? Must you lie so blatantly? I take a closer look at the reflection of my handsome features on a shop's glass windows. The only thing is that my hair is a little messy. I'm about to vomit out that blood I drank last night. Well, that sounds a bit dramatic. Come on, Yella. You should know that I risked my life to accompany you as your partner all the while. Why can't you praise me a bit? She snorts and begins to cross the road. Don't be... Oh. Okay, it's my turn now. Don't be ridiculous. Let's return to the studio and take our pictures. I want to sleep on a big bed as soon as possible. Why are you so impatient? Even if we settle things any earlier, we'll still need to wait until tomorrow. I'm making full use of our time to reach our goals as quickly as possible. Get it? After having our photographs taken, we still had to wait for a couple of hours before we could collect them. By that time, the sun was gradually setting in the west. We followed Franklin's instructions by putting the photos and money inside an envelope before coming to the laundrette next to the tobacco shop. Pretty! So clean, so white. What a magical era! This place actually used machines instead of people to wash clothes. The shop has rows of machines. We can see a transparent circular window with clothes spinning inside some of them. Yes, it's so amazing! Yella is also stunned by the array of washing machines. We should look for that machine number 12 on row 5 first. We head right to the back of the laundrette and find that appliance Franklin described it in one corner. It doesn't look any different from the other ones around the place except for the machine number label and a notice with the words, "Under repair, please do not use." Ah. Is this the one? I'm sure it's this one, but how do we put it inside? This machine has a lot of buttons, try pressing them. I see a button, I do press. Okay. However, I still can't open that transparent circular window after spending a lot of time with the buttons. My actions have also attracted the shop owner's attention. What are you doing? That washing machine is spoiled. Use another one. No, we just want to open this window. The laundrette owner seizes us up. When he notices the envelope in my hand, he breaks into a smile, then he pulls the edge of the window with one hand while pressing a button near it with his other hand, opening the troublesome transparent panel easily. I see they have to be done at the same time. Thank you very much. It's nothing. Remember to shut it properly after you have put your stuff inside. I'll be around if you need anything. The owner strides away while saying it. Okay. I follow the owner's instructions by placing the envelope inside before shutting the window.
服はどうやって洗えばいいのかしら。
Now, I wonder how do we wash our clothes? Well, I should ask the owner. The laundrette is very big. I have to search through many areas before I can find the owner repairing a machine in one corner. Hello, I'd like to wash some clothes. Could you help us? What kind of clothes? He looks over the clothes I have stuffed into the shopping bag provided by the boutique, after we change it out of them. This one can go into the washing machine, this one no, this one... The man fills the material on my clothes before repeating with yells. This one will need to be dry cleaned. Dry cleaned? What sort of new method to wash clothes is that? Yes, you have to wait until tomorrow to collect it. Would you like me to clean them? Yes, please. Follow me. I follow the owner to fill up an invoice, pay a deposit and hand our clothes to him, before returning to yellow with nothing in my hands.
終わったの？
You're done? Yes, your clothes were more special and couldn't be washed the normal way. It'd have to be dry cleaned.
ドライクリーニング？
Dry cleaned? Yes, I've never heard of it before. What sort of celestial outfit was that? No wonder you didn't want to throw it away.
代金貨5枚で仕立ててもらったの。
I spent 5 large gold coins to arrange for it to be tailor-made. 5 large gold coins? I gasped in astonishment. A dress worth 5 large gold coins? It is really hard to imagine. I could last an entire year with that amount of money, yet she spent it on only one of her clothes.
すごく大切かと言われればそうでもないけど、自分に似合うと思うし気に入ってるの。だから捨てちゃうのはもったいないじゃない。それに何と言ったって300年前から持ってきたものだしね。
Actually, it's not really important, but I think it looks nice on me. And I like it very much, so it would be a pity to throw it away. After all, I brought that dress here from 3 centuries ago. I see. Dear me, how come you're such a spendthrift? I thought her dress has a good story behind it. The amount she paid for it is really something too.
あんたはどうしてあんなボロボロの服を捨てたくなかったの？
What about you? How come you didn't want to throw away that tattered set of clothes either? I'm used to being poor, okay? Besides, I see that set of clothes as a welcome gift from you.
そう？ならちゃんと取っておきなさいよね。
Really? In that case, look after it well. Yeah, deliberately turns her head away and sounds a bit flustered in her reply. I think she's blushing because her cheeks are somewhat red. You fall for it, I was only joking.
あったね。殺すよ。
You go to hell! Pretty sure she told us I'm going to kill you. She lashes out before I can finish, leaving a shoe print on my new clothes. No! I just hurt my back last night. Don't kick so hard, you might kill someone.
愚朴なくせに私が優しいからあんたは生きていられるのよ。
Incompetent troll. You're still alive today simply because I have been merciful on you. Dear me, thank you very much then. I pat the dirt off my new clothes and step out of the
あ
laundrette.
の人たち騙されてるんじゃないかしら。
Do you think he'll swindle us? Yal looks back at the laundrette. It's not impossible, we haven't even seen them in person after all. Option 1, live with peace of mind. Option 2, keep a lookout. Wowie. Okay, another save point it is. Go. Let's keep a lookout. How about keeping a lookout? They'll definitely send someone to retrieve our stuff, whether it's a fraud or not.
でも誰かが取りに来たってそれが詐欺かどうかはわからないわ。
But we won't know if they'll cheat us, even if we see someone take it. Then we'll tell that
歩
person.
きならいいけど車に乗ってきたらどうするのよ。
What if he can travel very quickly in a car? In that case, what should we do? Yal folds her arms with a snort before walking down the street.
まあ時が来たらわかるわ。ここにいて。
Well, let's decide when the time comes. You wait here. Where are you going?
裏に回るのよ。ついてこないでよね。バカみたいに人の店の前に立ってないで。どこかでしゃがんでなさい。
I'm going to watch the back. Don't follow me or stand at other people's shop fronts like an idiot. Find a place and stay there. Like an idiot, thank you. Yes. So I have been sitting on a roadside bench near the laundrette to observe the activity around the place. This went on until nightfall. Yola disappeared from sight after she went round to the back, but I didn't leave my place for fear that I might miss something. Just when I'm yawning for the umpteenth time from this boring task, a car suddenly pulls up on the street outside the laundrette, and a man in a black fedora hurriedly steps out of the vehicle before entering the store.
行くわよ。
A black
あの
fedora.
車に隠れるの。
Go, hide inside his car. What a nice idea, Yalla. Yalla suddenly appears from behind and taps my shoulder. Wow, where did you come from? I received such a fright that I fall off the bench, and any urge to sleep is
騒
gone.
がないで。早く行きなさい。
Be quiet, let's go quickly. Oh, okay. We reached that car in no time. The vehicle didn't stop completely since it is still shaking. We looked through the windows and no one is inside. You're sure it's
直
him?
感よ。入って。
Gut feeling, get in. Yella grabs a handle, opens the car's rear door, pushes me inside and squeezes in before closing the door behind her. We'll be spotted very easily like this. The car is more tight than I imagine it. I get the feeling whoever is in front will see us irrespective of our hiding spot.
ここになって。じっとしてなさい。
Lie down and don't move. Yes, sir. Yola pulls me to the floor and below the seat between the front and back part of the car. Jesus Christ. We are squished once again, I see. A new CG unlocked. I was hoping there would be more CGs with her new outfit. I wonder if there will be more than this one. The space below the seat is so tight and we're forced to stay very close to each other just to maintain our cramped positions. Yola's chest is right in front and it is so near that I can't even see anything else.
何がえいでるのよ。静かにして。
Why are you gasping? Keep it down, but I do have your boba in my face too. It is a tad uncomfortable. Yola seems to be pricking up her ears to hear the sounds outside.
人が来たわ。声出しちゃダメよ。
Someone's coming, be quiet. Someone opens the car's front door soon afterwards. That person throws something inside, sits on the front seat, and the vehicle shakes for a while. He didn't drive the car immediately, instead he lights some sort of tobacco engulfing the entire vehicle with a smell before long, such that I nearly cough. Oh no! Yeah, what does that mean? The man coughs a few times before spitting out the window. Oh, I see. I'm forced to cover my mouth and try my best not to gag at the smoke. Damn! When I hear him curse, my hair skips a bit. Don't tell me he's noticed something suspicious. This tobacco is rubbish. So he's only grumbling about his tobacco. I regain my composure afterwards. Yeah, I wouldn't think he would only state damn if he saw us. Next, the man sitting in front pulls some switches and starts the car. The rocking on the floor becomes more forceful and I feel a little dizzy. Not only that, but the car is also swaying from side to side, adding to my queasiness. Yola doesn't seem to be as sick as me. She's keeping her eyes in front, poised to bite someone. The man is probably driving to the suburbs because the surroundings are getting dimmer and there are fewer streetlights after the car has moved for some time. The car is also shaking more strongly. But how did we even manage to enter? Like, why did he leave it unlocked? This fox keeps being annoying at the details that do not make much sense. I cannot help it. I'm being rocked about so much that I keep having the urge to throw up the food I've eaten. I stare at Yola's chest, hoping to think of something else, but my vision is getting blurry because of all that shaking. Are we sure it's because of the shaking? Nothing, I mean the smoke. Just when I'm about to reach my limit, the car shakes and rattles to a stop. The man does something that sounds like a key being turned, the car becomes completely quiet, and the shaking stops. Then he opens the front door, steps out, and slams the door shut. His footsteps are gradually fading away.
降りるわよ。
Get off. Eh?
何よ。まだ見足りない。このスケベ。さっさと出なさい。
What? You haven't seen enough yet? What a pervert. Get off, quick. She knows I have been looking at which part all along. How embarrassing. Okay. We quietly step out of the car. The driver with the hat isn't too far ahead, so we quickly follow him. Shortly afterwards, he turns into a dark, narrow alleyway, and I can hardly see anything but based on our earlier trip in the underground tunnels below, Yella should still be able to keep him in sight nevertheless. Thanks to her, I said to maintain a safe distance and that man didn't spot us. He stops outside the fence to throw the packet in his hands across the barrier. Next, he looks around warily before heading back in our direction, and we quickly hide inside a small gap at one side in response. We wait until he's left the place before going over to that fence to hear any activity. Someone seems to be talking on the other side. What are they saying? Shh, quiet. I give up trying to eavesdrop on them after a while because they're talking too softly. In contrast, Yella is listening attentively. She seems to have heard something. I will ask her afterwards, so I decide to step back and look around to assess our surroundings. We're in a narrow alley, and I have a bad feeling if we get anything like last night, we might not have such a lucky escape this time. The only consolation is that we have not angered anyone at this point, and we have no reason to get angry with them, so we certainly can do anything rash for tonight. My body suddenly shakes while I'm thinking about it. Footsteps! My ears are telling me that several people in hard footwear are opening a metal door, and they are about to come out. Their footsteps are really close. They will see us once they step out. What should I do? I glance sideways on the tourlace. It is very difficult to hide anywhere without getting spotted. If we run, that will be too suspicious. Then we just have to act as passerby, right? I quickly lean across to Yella, press both hands against the wall, and hold her down in the small space before me. Goodness. Jesus Christ. What a nice, perfect idea. Huh? What are you doing? Don't do that here. She turns around abruptly to look at me with a mixture of surprise and embarrassment. Shh. Right now that group of men have left the compound. They are heading towards us after turning on their lights. I glance in their direction, indicating for Yella to be quiet. Cooperate with me. Okay. I lower my head, lean close to Yella and overlap her face. This way we will look a lot more natural, like a couple kissing each other. The young punks nowadays are so wild, they dare to do this sort of thing down here. Speak for yourself, weren't you even wilder than them when you were young? Some of the male voices sound a bit familiar, but they just wave their lights in our direction a few times before they head off into the alley while talking among themselves. I used to be quite a darling when I was younger. What are you sighing? You're still being surrounded by a bunch of gals, aren't you? Yeah, you're different. We still have to wait on our at home. The three of them chat querulously among themselves before their voices gradually fade in the alleyway. Phew, they're gone. It seems like the main character has more brain cells than I thought, even the sense of fashion at that. Very interesting. I move my hand away from the wall to return to that initial distance from Yella. I realize she is staring intently at me. Miss Sam, sorry, I had no choice. Yella didn't say anything, she just walks off in a direction away from those men. Don't be angry, I didn't touch you this time. Shut up, opportunistic pervert! Can't you see we didn't have a choice? What is that hand of yours touching? What? No! I realize my hand is unwittingly groping the empty space around me while I'm explaining myself. Never mind, in the central, what did you hear just now? I didn't hear anything clearly, but I might have heard those voices from that group of before, I think. Really? Yella lowers her head to think for a while. Some of those people who pursued us last night probably had those voices. They sounded like small group leaders. Ouch. It can be. I'm shocked we just had another brush with death. What are you afraid of? Plenty of things. We're in their territory. If they recognized us, we might not be as lucky as last night. I can knock all of them down by myself. Missy, don't act tough. They nearly sent you into a coffin last night. Yella seems a little bitter, but she isn't saying anything to rebutt me either. We should hurry back to the city. It's too dangerous to stay here. You're right. We'll leave the dark alley and reach a slightly broader stretch of road before I can finally come down. By the way, did you catch any of the conversation between those people behind the fence? Are they frauds?
まず誰かがディゴの2人の兄弟がここに来たがっていて、彼らの身分証が必要だって話し始めたわ。
First, I heard someone say Diego had two brothers who wanted to come here and they needed proper identification. Brothers? Were they referring to
違
us?
うと思うわ。それから別の人がこの2人は危険人物だから身分証を用意するのは難しいって言って、それからまた最初の人が金額は問わない、彼らの身分証を2日以内に用意しないと取引が遅れるって言ってたわ。
Probably not. Next, another person said those two were dangerous people and it wasn't worth arranging for any proper identification. The first man replied by saying money wasn't a problem and they would need to prepare the documents in 2 days. Otherwise, the deal would be delayed. Dangerous
その
people?
人は続けて、2人は昼間の仕事をしないといけないからきちんとした身分証が必要なんだって言って、もう1人はしばらく考えてたみたいだけど最後には仕事を引き受けると言って、それから奴らが出てきたの。
He went on to say that both of them would need to work in the morning, so proper identification documents were a must for them. The other man thought for a very long time before saying yes, I would take this job. Then they came out. Oh, looks like that place really specializes in making identification documents and it sounds rated professional too, we should have no problems.
そうね。今日のところはまた24時間のレストランを探してしのぎましょう。
I agree, let's find another 24-hour restaurant for tonight. Yella laces her fingers together and raises both hands high up in the air to stretch. You seem to be in a good mood. Are you excited at the thought of sleeping on a big
バ
bed?
カ言わないで。あんた本当に最低。殴られたいの？
Quit playing the fool. You're a real creep. Are you asking for a beating? Were you venting your anger on me again? Since when did I ever ask for a beating?
分かってるくせに。
She totally misunderstood. You know full well what I'm talking about. Yella glares at me before walking on. She's even swinging her arms and humming a tune, such that I'm sure she's in a good mood. The next day, we returned to the laundrette. A rich machine 12 on row 5 with the under repair notice appeared through the transparent window. I do see an envelope, but I can't determine its contents. I copied the laundrette owner's earlier actions to open the window and obtain the envelope. It feels very light as though hardly anything is placed inside. We had to pay 1,200 in exchange for this thing. It's so
いい
light.
じゃない。開けてみましょう。
Never mind, let's open it first. I opened the envelope. It has 2 small cards inside with our name and photo printed on each of them. They should be correct.
確かに運転免許証って書いてあるけど、使えるかどうかはわからないわね。
These cards clearly identify them as driving licenses, but I'm not sure if we can actually use them. Never mind, let's go to that hotel and try it there.
いいアイデアね。
Good idea! We rushed back to the hotel excitedly. Yay! This time we could stay at the hotel after checking in at the front desk, and we chose a luxurious suite that Yella wanted. No longer sleeping with our face on the table! Upon entering the room, we're drawn by the massive amount of space and the huge soft-looking bed inside. Yella can't resist any longer. She kicks off her shoes to one side before diving into the comfort of the soft woolen blanket.
この感じ懐かしいわ。
Wow, this film brings back a lot of fun memories. Hey, try not to soil that cooling blanket too much. Exercise my stiff neck. Looks like I can sleep well
余
today.
計なお世話よ。
Mind your own business. Yellow hurls a pillow at me, but misses and lands on the floor instead. By the way, why didn't you book 2 rooms? I glance around the entire room to see it has 1 bed. Where am I going to sleep then? Heh. When we're at the reception counter, Yella chose a suite without any hesitation and rushed exuberantly to the room with the key, giving me no time to say otherwise, but now that I think about it, I should be able to book a separate single room for myself since I don't really need a suite. But why don't we use the sofa too? I wonder if she's gonna make us sleep on the floor.
余計にお金がかかるでしょ。悪い？
We can save money by booking 1 room. Why? Really, I believe you can be frugal when we're down and out, but now that we have money, you're just as thrifty. You should know that you just rented an expensive suite. I can't get over how good this design does look of her. I really love the outfit, the accessories, the ribbons, both of them on the clothing and on the hair, also the necklace, super cute. I had a gem necklace as well.
あんたが信じようと信じまいと私はお風呂に入ってくるわ。
I don't care whether you believe me or not. I'm going to take a bath. This pillow is yours. I pick up that pillow she threw at me before placing it back on the big bed.
バーカ、それはあんたの枕よ。
Idiot, that is your pillow. My pillow? Wait. I know, you fear being alone, that's why you didn't book 2 rooms. You want to sleep with me so much? You... Ouch! No. Yella abruptly blushes, at a loss for words. What about me? Did I say anything wrong? I just hit the mark. This girl is really afraid to stay in a room by herself.
くぼく、あんたなんか死ねばいいのよ。
She did not beat us up, that's weird. You incompetent troll, go to hell! With those parting words, she enters that room with the word bathroom printed on the door, her face entirely red. Don't say it, you look rather cute when your face is red. I direct my reply to the bathroom door before lying down on the bed. Oh no, I forgot! At first I thought of getting my beauty sleep, but now I remember that we still haven't collected our clothes at the laundrette. We forgot about it because we were too carried away at obtaining our driving licenses. Really now? So I reluctantly clamber out of bed. Yella, I'm going to the laundrette to take our clothes.
Hi.
Got it! The bathroom is filled with the sound of running water. That girl must be enjoying her bath. I'm going to take one of her room keys and leave the other one in front of the TV. Don't forget to take it with you if you want to go out.
シャワーの音で聞こえないわ。出かけるならどうぞ。
I can hear you over the din of running water. Run along if you want to go out. Yes. I take the key and prepare to leave this refuge. Suddenly I remember something and turn back at once. No, did you forget? I can go out by
どう
myself.
してよ。
Why? I made an agreement with you. I'll die if I'm too far away from you.
契約？そうだったわね。それじゃあ待ってなさい。
The tsundere will open up a little bit and allow you to sleep on the bed if you're a nice little pet. Agreement? Oh, that's right. Wait for me then. I break out in cold sweat because I nearly killed myself by accident, although Yella should also take some of the blame if that happens. She didn't remind me about such an important thing, she can possibly have forgotten about it too. As we were heading out, the hotel front desk staff asked Yella where she was going, and even arranged for a car to take us there, so we returned to that laundrette in Grapevine Street before long. However, the shop owner told us to give him some time because he had a lot of orders to fulfill before us and he just started uncleaning our clothes. Yella didn't like the smell of me, so she bounded off to shop in that boutique nearby and left me to wait here all by myself. I apologize for this, stuttering and not as perfect reading in months, but the more I read it, the more I realize that I do need my glasses back, because I still don't have them since I have to redo the visit to change the glass thingies. Goodness, the lenses! The lenses! I did not forget the word at all. I was bored and began to observe those wonderful washing machines. Each of them had a round metallic receptacle inside that would rotate and spin the clothes when it was filled with water. Young man, where are you from? The owner strikes up a conversation with me while I'm engrossed in the washing machines. How should I put it? If I look at this place, I'm a local, but in terms of time, I'm not. Don't worry, I won't tell the police. I also came from another country. In the south, I obtained my identification more easily at that time compared to now, too. Is that so? I'm also from the south. Really? No wonder you're so curious about all these things. It's your first time here? Yes, they're so miraculous. I have never seen anything like this before. This is called an automatic washing machine. The owner probably regarded me as a compatriot from his country of origin, so he began to talk at length about his past, how he left to see his fortune from a place that didn't even have electricity, and came here to open a big laundrette. Of course, I was the same as him when he was younger. I didn't know anything about the electricity he talked about until he explained everything to me. That's how I learned that the street lights, the telephones, the televisions and the machines would need electricity to run in this day and age. Those fast-moving vehicles were called cars, and they burned a kind of oil to move. After a grueling afternoon, we finally obtained our cleaned clothes. I returned to our hotel room. Ella kicked off her shoes before leaping onto the bed once again. Then she turned around to look at me with disgust. Don't come near me, you walking rubbish bin. Hurry up and take your bath. We got a new nickname, I guess. Yes. I didn't argue with her because even I can't stand that body odor on myself. The steam from Yella taking her bath here earlier is still lingering in the air when I step inside. How should I get the hot water to flow out? I walk to the clean bathtub, only to feel perplexed at the strange metallic equipment. What does it say here? Instructions. While I'm at a loss, I suddenly notice a small card on a nearby wall. It's a handwritten note, and I can understand the simple wording on it even though I'm half literate. Turn the described handle all the way to the left and pull it. Don't forget to plug the hole at the bottom. I read out the words and follow the instructions at the same time. Upon pulling that thing which looks like a handle, water abruptly sprays out from a nozzle resembling a lotus seed head above me. Ah! The water came too quickly for me to dodge in time, but it is neither cold or hot and feels rather comfortable. Yella wrote this? I think so too. Is there anyone else besides her? I undress and jump into the bathtub. The warm water feels refreshing. That girl. When I close my eyes and immerse my body in the warm water, Yella's features appear right in front of me. Her soft lips, smooth skin, and charming smile. Actually, she's really cute. A warm feeling emerges deep in my heart. Did you realize only now that she is cute? Goodness! I have never felt this way before. Did you even interact with women before, my guy? A refreshing breeze blows across, sending the aromatic smell of roses in my direction and waking me up just when I'm nodding off. We have stayed in this luxurious suite for 2 days, and it is so nice to sleep here. I haven't had such a good night's rest in the past few days, nor that earlier period of a little more than 20 years from 3 centuries ago. I sit up to gaze at the window. Yella is looking out that opening while seated on a nearby sofa with a desk calendar at her side. She seems to be thinking about something. But I wonder, do we actually know that we have to pay more for more days here? Like we have limited money, that is. I'm having my doubts about that. Her dainty legs are on the sofa with her body fully extended, and she really looks good in the hotel's bathrobe. You did not expect her to be that well endowed. She looked like a little kid before. The light is streaming in through the window on this vampire girl, producing a heavenly glow. It looks agreeable and conflicting at the same time. A breeze is blowing across, lifting her loose flowing hair, and she has a hand extended to hold it gently in place. The scene simply resembles an old painting the rich usually collect. You've woken up? Yes, you're up early. Did you sleep well last night? Yes, very. Then she turns away from the window to look at me. How about you? You smelled so nice that I kept tossing and turning before going to sleep. That means you slept well. I thought you would find it difficult to sleep because you planned to do something evil with such a pretty girl lying beside you. Those feelings from that bathtub yesterday suddenly resurfaced, and I answered without thinking. It seems probably to assume that one would scheme. After all, you are so beautiful that my heart races just by looking at you. Goodness, that was straightforward. Yella suddenly blushes and squints her eyes. Is that an exaggeration? Why don't you carry out whatever you have in mind? No, I have thought over it and I'd prefer to live a little longer. Yella bursts out laughing at my answer. A breeze blows across, sending her hair swing across the wooden sofa. Then she moves her head to look at me evilly. What if I allowed you to do so? Her deep purple eyes can influence anyone to lose hold of themselves. Just like that time I first saw her, it feels as if some sort of bad buried deep in my heart is about to sprout. Since when did my fear of these vampires turn into trust? Perhaps I'm beginning to realize something now. What is that thing? What should I do? Go over to embrace her? My instincts are telling me that I should be able to do it now. However, she has always been enigmatic, although I can sense her affinity with me. This form of liking simply came from that trust in each other when we made our pact, or something more. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't tangle with this delicate beauty for now. I wonder, Aether, even if you have given your permission, you might be waiting to devour me alive like a praying mantis. Lila chuckles before returning to look out the window. Who knows? In future, what do you plan to do? Lila hesitated for a moment when she said future, as if that word was very puzzling for her. Future? I repeat the word because I also think it is somewhat vague. I must admit that we have been living in the future all the while. Lila sighs softly and seems a little frustrated. I have always been a cook. I just want to learn some culinary skills and open my own little restaurant in future. Although I had this ambition 3 centuries ago, this so-called number of years feels like a few days ago for me. However, I still haven't grasped the state of affairs in this era, and I'm following a vampire on top of that. It is really hard to tell what the future bodes for us. Yella didn't say anything. She just looks down at the slippers on the carpeted floor. I don't mean to say that I don't like to follow you. In fact, I'm glad that you're here with me as a companion. After all, you're the only one who can really understand what I say, since we're people from ancient times. Let's open a restaurant. Yella suddenly opens her mouth, as if she didn't hear the things I said earlier. What? I'll provide the capital, you'll prepare the dishes. If anyone dares to say the food is terrible, I will eat that person. No. What sort of crooked establishment are we running? What do you think? Start a business? Yellowstone sounds very serious. She has even raised her head to look at me again over this. I think it is a rather good idea. Let's do it then. Yella begins to shake her extended legs, increasing the pressure on the sofa to produce grinding noises. But we need a lot of money to open a restaurant in this era. We don't own any property, so we can only rent a shop unit like that apartment we saw the other time. A shop's monthly rental alone is costly enough. When we buy ingredients, employ people and such, the money we have on us won't last long. Furthermore, if we don't get enough customers at our restaurant during the first few months, our finances may become worse and worse until we are forced to close down because the income isn't enough to sustain the business. Isn't money the only thing you're concerned about? Come now, you have me. I immediately shake my head. No, the purpose in starting a business is to make money. What's the point if you go around robbing others again? It is pointless to me, but to you, to me? Right, I want to help you fulfill your dream. Is this some sort of confession? I'm speechless. This vampire girl actually has been thinking so much for my sake. My heart feels warm, and that indescribable emotion seems to be getting stronger. No, you were at death's door the other time. You might really lose your life if we encounter a similar situation again. I'm very powerful. You've seen before, haven't you? Most humans don't pose a threat to me at all. No. Whenever I recall how this snarky yet delicate girl was covered in blood the other time, my heart would feel as if it was being beaten by thousands of ants from deep inside. Don't risk your life just because you're a vampire. Some will be sad if you're injured. Then tell me, what should we do? We can look for honest work and earn our keep just like any other decent person in society. I don't believe the world 300 years later can be more cruel than the earlier time period. As long as one is willing to work hard, we can live openly. I know how to cook some dishes. Furthermore, this era has a lot more restaurants than before, so chefs will be in higher demand. I'm only saying something off the top of my head because I still have no idea on how to achieve this goal, but it is certainly the right course of action. I noticed that a lot of places had help, wanted signs, posters at their doors, posted at their doors. We can try our luck there. Yellow nods after listening to me.
もし読めない字があったら笑い物になるかもしれないでしょ。
Alright, I'll go with you, just in case you can't read some of those characters and end up being a laughing stock. Then she stands up and sorts out her attire. After having our breakfast at the hotel, we reach the city center. This place has the most number of restaurants. As we walk along the streets, we have developed a mutual understanding after being together over the past few days. The distance between the two of us has shortened considerably, yet we aren't touching each other. Our footsteps are also in sync, such that I am even under the impression that we have been seeing each other for a very long time. In some respects, it is an extensive period of time since... Kitty. My chest does hurt now from the startle. Thank you kindly. Annoying little pest. Oh, well? In some respects, it is an extensive period of time since 300 years have passed. Yet we have been traveling together for barely a few days, so it can be considered short too. I now do demand an ooh from Baba, so I can set it as some notification here, as an alert. Ooh. With the fat cat too. Thank you for the headbutt, Carbon.
あのお店、求人って書いてあるわよ。
That establishment has a help wanted notice. Okay, I'll go in and see. Yell nods and we head towards that restaurant, but a maitre that at the doorway calls us before we can enter. I'm not sure what I just read. Okay. Welcome, would you like to eat here? We're already eaten. As I give my explanation to the head waiter at the entrance, I point to the notice at one side. Are you hiring for this position? Ah, yes, you're applying for the job. Have you brought your resume along? Resume? I look at Yella, but she shakes her head. It seems she has no idea what that word means at all. A resume has your personal particulars and work experience. You can also list any awards if you have those. Then he asks a question. Well, have you worked anywhere before? I used to be an assistant chef at the restaurant called Cook's Restaurant. Alright, if you have work experience, please bring your resume and any relevant reference to an interview. The maitre smiles and nods at me. I'll think about it. I turn around to leave in disappointment.
証明書が必要だなんて300年前の人に書いてもらえっていうのかしら。
They want a reference, but I don't think we can find anyone from 300 years ago to watch for us. What about the socio-organization tool? You can pay time to just pretend, I guess? At this point, and I have no idea on how to write a resume.
思ったより骨が折れそうね。
It's more troublesome than I thought. Although we failed at this restaurant, it didn't shake my confidence. Never mind, let's go to the next one. We should be able to find a restaurant that assesses a person's culinary skills without asking for those things.
そうね。
Alright. Then we head to the next restaurant. Eventually, we inquired at all the restaurants around here and realized I was too naive. In this age, the so-called proof in the form of relevant certificates and references were really essential. If I inquired about the position of a senior chef, they want to see my work history. If I applied to be an assistant chef, they required proof of my education and qualifications. And we have 80 of those. Hence, we had been wandering around blindly for an entire afternoon until I asked a restaurant manager and found out the reason. They wanted to raise the standard for this profession, prevent outsiders from competing with those they recognize, and assure chefs of their livelihood. Sheesh, even if Mr. Cook comes to this world, I don't think he can be employed as a chef-eater. In fact, I'm on the verge of giving up in despair after hearing that manager's explanation, but we have already walked all the way from the city to the outskirts and would hate to go back now. What if the next one is willing to hire me?
あのお店も手伝いを募集してるわよ。
That place is also looking for assistant chefs. Yell suddenly tugs at my clothes and points to a small bar on the other side of the street. Eastern Bar? I look at the somewhat seedy bar and the wide, endless stretch of road going all the way back. Never mind, let's take a look. The bar door is open and doesn't have a waiter to show people to their tables with a smile. Welcome, can I get you something to eat? When we step inside, a voice suddenly booms out that I nearly jump in
食
fright.
事したいんじゃなくて、彼が仕事を探してるの。
We aren't here to eat, he's looking for work. Yella points at me, reminding me of her purpose in coming here, and I quickly compose myself. We saw you are hiring assistant chefs. I wonder if you still need any? Eh? Oh, yes. The owner smiles, gets up from his chair, and comes over to us affably. Hello, I'm Wang Wenjin. You can call me Boss Wang. Hello there, Boss Wang. Have you worked as an assistant chef before? Yes, I used to work as one at a small restaurant, and I know how to prepare a few Western dishes too. Okay, it's good that you have prior experience. Let's go to the kitchen at the back and show me your abilities. Boss Wang suddenly pats my back, and I find it a bit weird because this is something only cooks who are very close with each other will do during my time. It shows that he's already regarded me as a chef. You don't need to assume. That plaything is jack squat. No matter how well people write on those, they can't even peel potatoes, so it is just too much of a hassle. Come, follow me. Boss Wang enters the kitchen at the back of after giving his reply. Yella, find yourself a seat and wait for me.
わかった。ここに座ってるわ。
Understood, I'll sit here. She points to a wooden chair nearby. I nod here as I follow the owner to the kitchen at the back. What a big kitchen! Wow, what is that big metallic pan used for? You used to make Western dishes. This is your first time seeing a utensil used in Eastern cooking? Yes. I begin to have doubts about myself when I see the things around me. What dishes can you prepare then? Well, at least the dishes I can make with my fingers. Cauliflower meatballs, corn soup with mixed vegetables, braised sirloin with tomatoes. Oh, they're just simple dishes. Boss Wang sounds a bit disappointed. But it's okay, let me see your basic skills. You should still know how to wash and slice vegetables. Yes, I know how to do those. Fine, show me how you peel a potato. Alright, I go over to pick a potato from a sack. Next, I apply running water from a tap to wash away the soil on it. Then I take a kitchen knife from the table and begin to peel the tuber while rotating it. I often did this when I worked for Mr. Cook, so the entire process goes smoothly, and I hand the entire peeled item to Boss Wang in no time. Not bad, you're rather skilled at it. You can work here. It's that easy? Yes, because we've been at war for the last few years. The economy is getting worse, prices of things are going up, and it is hard to employ anyone. We are at war? From what I saw, people were generally happy in the city. Even the outskirts were just a little chaotic. Where were the signs of war? Yes, you don't know? You never watched the news? This war has been going on for quite a few years. Is that far away? If there's a war, I should take Yella out of this place as soon as possible. I don't want to end up as a war casualty like Mr. Cook. Very, very far. Halfway across the globe. The distance is still a mystery to me, but I'm relieved to hear that Boss Wang places special emphasis on the words very far. Looks like the war has nothing to do with me. Right. Some people have profited from this war, but common people like us are suffering from it. Look at this place. A few years ago, it used to be a restaurant before the conflict started. Then it became really difficult for me to retain my chefs. That's why I was forced to change it into a bar, otherwise it couldn't carry on. Sounds really tough. Seems I'm too optimistic about this world 3 centuries later. Never mind, even if the sky is falling, life goes on. People will still need to run a business, eat and sleep as usual. Yeah, that's true. Alright, time to work. Boss Wang pats my shoulder before pointing to a dish at one side that a cook just poured out from a pot. Your first task is to serve the dish to table 8. Okay. I hope that's not Yella ordering it. After giving my answer, I go over to that aromatic dish. It smells so good with that enticing amount of spices. What is this dish called? I have never seen it before. This is called ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ. I hope I did read it properly. I have no idea how to read it. Please don't judge me. Duck blood tofu in spicy broth. But I can teach you how to make it in future if you do a good job here. I'm really grateful. I hold the rather hot porcelain bowl in my hands, carefully carrying it out of the kitchen. Table 8. Oh, it's in the blood. I think it is actually Yella. I mutter to myself and locate table 8. Upon taking a closer look, I realize Yella is there, you see. Big brain strikes again. How come it's you? You ordered it? I placed the dish on her table.
やっと来た。
Dear me, you're finally here. I thought you can't eat the food by humans. Aren't you wasting your money? Yala skillfully takes a pair of wooden sticks from a wooden container before pointing to the menu at one
これは
side.
マオシューワンっていうらしいわ。血を使ってるって店員が言ってたから何なのか気になったの。
This dish is called ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ. A waiter told me it's made with blood, so I'd like to know what it is. Fine, but you're insulting the chef if you don't finish the food.
大丈夫よ。あんたがいるでしょ。持って帰って食べればいいわ。
Don't worry, I still have you, no? We can always pack the food home to eat later if that happens. This dish is meant to be eaten when it's hot. I'm sure it won't taste as nice when it is cold. Yala ignores me. She uses the pair of wooden rods to put a piece of solidified blood into her mouth. The next moment, she clutches her chest in agony as if she has just swallowed a piece of magma. Oh no. This illustration is so cute. Okay, screenshot taken. What's wrong?
水熱い。
Oh, water! It's so hot! Give me a minute. I hurry to the bar counter and fetch a glass of ice water. Here, Yula brings the glass to her mouth and downs its contents in one go.
熱い。
Ah, it's so hot! Don't force yourself if you can't eat it.
いや
No?
熱いけどこれ意外と美味しいわ。
I told you it's very hot. This thing is surprisingly delicious. Are you
味
serious?
がわかるのはこれが初めて。よくわからないけどいろんな味が混ざり合ってる感じがするわ。
This is the first time I could feel its taste. I can't quite describe it, but the dish seems to have a variety of flavors combined into one. I see that my premonition has been realized here. As I did mention before, I thought that she would feel the taste of the dishes if they were dishes with blood. Really? Then it is a cause for celebration. Yala nods elatedly. We have really discovered a new frontier. Where is the new employee? Time to serve the other dishes! However, Boss Wang's voice suddenly rings out from the kitchen before she can elaborate further on this amazing piece of news. I have to get back to work. Enjoy your meal.
ここで待ってるわね。
Okay, I'll wait here for you. Boss Wang, what's with that ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ earlier? It is rare for Yella to find human food that she likes. So I quickly ask Boss Wang for more details when an opening presents itself during a lull period. Don't tell me it was really made from blood. It can possibly be bought from the blood bank? That's right, looks like you really don't know anything about Eastern dishes at all. Yes, I've never heard of them before. The dish just now used duck's blood, luncheon meat, pig intestines, bean sprouts, and such as its ingredients. Good news. The most crucial part lies in the soup base and the seasoning. It won't taste nice if they aren't done well. I see. I still have no idea on how to make it after hearing his explanation. You can possibly grasp this within a short time. Be patient and learn the ropes here. Do well and I will teach you in future. Come, shred these potatoes and carrots. Alright. Henceforth, I would come to this cistern bar every day to work. Yala would follow me, order a ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ, and wait for me to finish work before going home with me. We rented a small apartment near the bar to make it easier for us to go to work and come home. Although the place was nowhere near as luxurious as the suite, it met a need in our daily lives. This routine of going back and forth every day was probably that kind of life most people were leading, and we had finally assimilated into this era. Rylan, come here a minute. Boss Wang suddenly calls me when I'm about to knock off today. He seems to have something to discuss with me. Yes? I wash my hands under a tap and wipe them dry with a towel before going over to Boss Wang. What do you think about working at this place? It's still okay. The place where I used to work was much harder than this. But then I would have to watch the heat in those primitive stalls and that firewood at any time. That was more exhausting than all the work here combined. Fine, you're a good worker, young man. You have potential. Here's your pay for this month. Boss Wang hands me an envelope reminding me that I have worked here for an entire month. Thank you very much. I received the envelope and tear it open to peek at the contents. It only has 3 $100 notes inside. What? You think it's too low? Thanks, boss. You're welcome. No, I just joined it after all. My wages can barely cover the rent at the small apartment in the outskirts. It is a bit far from what I expected. Alright, it's time for you to knock off. Okay. At least we won't have to risk our lives through gun battles. Things will get better as long as one is willing to work hard. Business at the bar is surprisingly good today. Even at this hour, there are quite a lot of patrons. I move past the drinking crowd to join Yella. She's already bored stiff. I'm done for today. Took you long enough? She grumbles listlessly with her head on the table. I'll take it to the owner before I finish work today. What was it about? You're about to be sacked? She smacks the table and gets up from her seat. Why would the boss dismiss me when I have been working so hard? In fact, he gave me my wages for this month. I waved the thin envelope at her. I can tell the amount is paltry without looking at it. Yella stretches and heads out. This is just my first month. It will get better in future. It's better, or else I will skin the boss and make him regret bullying you. Although Yella's nasty words sound frightening, I feel comforted instead. You can bear to see me being bullied so much? Nonsense, don't think too highly of yourself. Yeah, she's the one that can bully us, only her. You're a real source of comfort to me, regardless of the problems we encounter. I feel reassured as long as you're around. I thought a man shouldn't be saying this. Don't the two of us have this kind of relationship? Yella is momentarily at a loss on where to look after she heard my words. Her face has turned red like that sunset a few days ago. Just when Yella is about to say something, police sirens suddenly wail from outside. The man rushes in, shouting at the top of his lungs. It's the police! They're here to look for illegal immigrants! The bar's patrons scream in alarm on hearing that shout. They were enjoying their food earlier, but now they are in a panic as they bolt up from their seats and stampede for the exit. We should hurry out too. No need to panic, we have our ID. Oh wait, I don't have where to overwrite that. We should hurry out too. I instinctively pulled Yella and joined the crowd. Let's run, the police are here. Yella doesn't seem to know what is going on yet. No time to explain, we better hurry out. I hold her hand tightly and joined the chaotic crowd of people to reach the main road outside. The police sirens are getting closer. Based on those sounds, I can tell there's a fleet of police cars this time. What's going on? Why do we have to run whenever the police come? They're searching for illegal immigrants and might even have found out about us. Yes. After a brief explanation, we follow the crowd to the next street. Don't worry, they probably wouldn't catch us with so many people around. We can lose them. True. My head is starting to spin with this animation, no! Goodness, suppose 100 pigs have escaped all at once. The police would need a few hours to catch all of them. What? Before I can finish, gunshots ring out from behind. Everybody freeze! Put your hands on your head and lie face down on the ground, otherwise we will shoot. Perhaps the gunshots and announcement are intimidating. A lot of people around us hesitate for a while before lying face down obediently. Yet this animation is kind of painful to watch. Don't stop! Yes, we keep running because we know in our hearts that once the police apprehend us, we will certainly be found out, especially the part where Yella is a vampire. Maybe some of the police stopped to deal with the people lying down, and their pursuers have obviously thinned out. We take this opportunity to turn a corner and break their line of sight, but they will still catch up with us sooner or later. If we stay here, I have to think of a way. Upon looking around, I notice this road has a round cover with holes on it. Didn't we come out from the underground tunnels through an exit like this the other time? This way! I hurried to the manhole cover, insert my fingers through the holes on it, and lift the entire thing to put at one side. Get in first. Yella nods and jumps inside, then I limp down after her. As I'm about to replace the cover, thumping footsteps suddenly ring out from somewhere nearby. Oh no. I'm so frightened I didn't dare to poke my head out, and can only jump down to the brick floor below. Run, they're catching up. Yella grabs my hand and we dash madly through the dark sewer tunnels the minute I finished saying it. But we didn't run that far before a beam of light suddenly shines from behind. Halt! Or else I'll shoot! Yell suddenly relaxes her grip on my hand, she spins around and whips up a stench. I quickly turn around, but I can't detect anything clearly save for a blinding beam of white light and footsteps from someone's small leather shoes on the brick surface. After a few seconds, that glaring beam of light flickers a few times before going out, plunging the area into darkness once more. Yala? My eyes! Sorry, Baba. I can vaguely see a figure sitting up in the distance. It's okay, I have dealt with him. I have a sigh out of relief. You aren't hurt? Of course not. She comes over afterwards. Let's go quickly, they will soon find out that we have gone underground. She holds my hand in a very natural way, upon returning to me. We're just like a couple who have been dating for a long time. What's the matter? Let's get going. Oh, yeah, let's go. I think we are really destined to be here. Forget it, I don't want to have whatever destiny with this stinking place. We proceed carefully, walking shoulder to shoulder along the dark tunnels. With the exception of our footsteps and the sound of dripping water, there is a foreboding silence. Have you liked anyone before? I decided to say something to drive away the fear. Yella opens her mouth a little, but she closes it in no time. Just when I'm wondering if I shouldn't have asked such a direct question, she opens her mouth. Of course I have. Really, then, what is he, like? Why am I flustered? Given that she has lived for so long, she's quite likely to have a person or two she liked. Isn't that so? Why? Are you bothered by it? No, I'm just curious. Tall, handsome, rich. A young man in a prominent family. Oh, it is someone I can only strive to attain after all. And it's my fiancé. Huh? You are already married? No way, I'm certainly not married yet. That's why he's called my fiancé. Do you still like him now? Shortly after we were engaged, he volunteered to join a knightly order. He wanted to earn credit for himself before asking for my hand in marriage. I still can't help but think it is us, and that she did something so that once we die, we will teleport in another place, time, and whatever. Because she was hiding so many things she didn't want to talk about before. What an amazing man. Not only is he rich, but he's brave too. A pity. Yara says softly. He died in battle. If he really died in battle, I might still have loved him. No, if he didn't die in battle, isn't that a cause for celebration? He fled in a battle to save his own skin and deserted his comrades. Thus the king stripped him of all awards, and he was never the same after that. He stayed in his castle getting himself drunk all day long. Oh no. I see, what a pitiful young man. He was really unlucky. I breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing this part. From then on, I saw his true colors. He appeared impressive just like a peacock, but he's not the kind of man one could rely on when faced with the actual challenges, and I stopped loving him since. Oh, I see now. Your standards for the person you like are really high. You never liked anyone else after him? No. I howled, nearly tripping my left leg over my right. You have someone else you like?
彼女のことが大好きだったけど、ここに彼女はいない。
The proprietress of the 광ᴇᴅᴜ in town, Karen, is a gentle, kind, brave, and upright senior girl. I love her too, but she isn't around anymore. Oh, Karen, I know her too. I used to go to her place and help out with the cooking quite regularly.
そうなの？通りで見覚えがあったはずね。
Is that so? No wonder I thought you looked familiar. Besides girls, do you have other boys you like?
男の人？もちろん好きになったわ。
Boys, of course I have. I notice a pair of purple eyes are staring at me in the darkness, leading me to gulp in reflex. Who is he?
すごく勇敢な人よ。臆病に見えて、いざという時には危険を顧みず立ち向かう。そして、どんな困難にも決してくじけない強い人。私は今でも彼のことが好き。
Sorry, Yala. A very brave man. He might appear cowardly, but he would always risk his life at the most crucial moments. And he was a very headstrong fellow who would never give up no matter how difficult the conditions. I still like him to this day. My heart feels painful and ticklish as if a cat is scratching it. Who is that? He has also passed away.
彼はそう簡単には死なないわ。
He won't die that easily. He's a vampire too? I know it. Vampire girls have a thing for vampire lads after all. Why don't you look for him then?
探す？そんな必要ないわ。
Look for him. There's no need for that. Yell smiles in response, leaving me confused.
何ぼさっとしてんのよ。早く行くわよ。
Why are you standing there dumbfounded? Go, hurry up! Oh. I follow Yella absent-mindedly until we reach another exit after walking some distance. If we get out from here, we could end up near or far away from the bar. After all, I can't determine anything from underground. But the strong odor is truly unbearable, and something in my heart is pressuring me so much that I'm gasping for breath. I just want to get out, breathe in some fresh air, and forget that earlier conversation. Let's exit from here. The stench is really hard to take. I wonder if the police is staying out too. They are supposed to know, like, the exits from this underground passage. Yella gave a short positive answer, so I rely on the light shining through the small holes above to climb up the ladder and open the manhole cover. After poking my head out to look around and make sure no one is nearby, I climb out and pull Yella up with me. We haven't been here before. How should we go back? This place is an unfamiliar area and I can decide on which direction to go. This looks pretty same as the place with the sushi organization.
車の音がする。
A repeating background it is. I hear a car. The sound came from over there. Car? A police car? Yella has a sharper sense of hearing than mine. The place is completely silent to me.
わからないわ。サイレンの音はしないけど。
No idea, I can hear any police siren from it. Anyway, let's avoid the main roads and stay away from people. Yella nods in agreement. Then we begin to walk slowly along the side of the road. However, trouble is just around the corner when we turn into the next street. A car is parked around the corner and two heavily built men in black with rifles are accompanying a middle-aged man with a briefcase. They are heading towards a building on the opposite side. This shouldn't have anything to do with us in the first place, we're just passers-by, but we didn't expect those two black-garbed men, who look like bodyguards, to spot us when they glance over their shoulders. They quietly turn around and point their guns at us, looking utterly cold with their fingers on the triggers as they wait for the order to shoot. Oh my goodness. At the end, once again. Why did we bump into this group of serious people today? What bad luck. Goodness. I immediately raise my hands to surrender. The group of people don't seem to have made up their minds on how to deal with us, so we keep staring at each other for a few seconds until police sirens well in the distance. There's the monster! Kill him and retreat, quickly! The moment I see him open his mouth, I instinctively jump back to take cover behind the corner of a building, but I realize Yella isn't next to me. Yella? I look around for signs of Yella while running away at the same time. I hardly taken a couple of steps when a series of gunshots ring out from behind. Their shooting is such rapid succession that I can't tell exactly how many bullets are fired because it sounds like raindrops hitting the ground. Goodness, it's so loud! I lay prone on the ground in reflex. Surprisingly, those bullets aren't hitting me. I apprehensively turn around, but those men in black are nowhere in sight. They can't possibly be shooting at the air. Don't tell me it's Yella. They were shooting at Yella. I hurry back to the corner and peek out. Those two black-garbed men and that middle-aged man who gave the order are down. That is Yella's handiwork? As this thought flashes through my head, a dozen fierce-looking men in black rush out from the building opposite, cursing at whoever did it. They're holding black rifles, and some of them are coming straight to me. I quickly retucked my head. What should I do next? The nearest manhole cover is more than 100 meters away. Even if I run there, it will be very hard for me to reach it before they can shoot me. The bottom line is that Yella is nowhere to be seen. Do I have to flee just like that? Suddenly gunshots from beyond the corner reach my ears again like a sewing machine in operation. Yella must be fighting them. Instead of waiting here to die, I might as well risk everything. Bastards, come and get me! I pop my head out the corner and shout at that group of black-garbed men who are shooting wildly in all directions to taunt them. On hearing my insult, they stop firing and turn to look at me simultaneously. A pair of eyes are staring at me, as if hot soldering irons are being applied on every inch of my skin. I become very fearful, like a sheep being thrown into a pack of wolves. At this moment, a large black figure suddenly descends from the sky, obscuring the full moon, and the street lights like a majestic male eagle that strikes fear in anyone. What? The male eagle swoops down on me, and I instinctively shut my eyes just before the impact. Yet I can feel my body getting lighter, and the wind howling around me. What's going on? Oh, okay. I open my eyes to see the ground getting further away from me. I see that they did use the piece of earth from within the car. I was hoping to see many different CGs, but still it's pretty. A pair of dainty hands are holding me in place. It feels soft and comforting. Yella? Hold tight. Yella gives a short answer before flapping her pair of huge bat-like wings, sending us high up. From my vantage point, the skyscrapers that used to tower above me in the city now resemble an infinite chessboard where everything is standing below me. Wow, it's so high up! We're flying now! Ah! I can feel myself being lifted up by a powerful force in an instant, such that my survival instincts prompt me to cling onto Yella for dear life with my entire face pressing against her chest. We're flying higher up, and the air feels colder, but our bodies are pressed very closely to each other to act as a fair place to supply that warmth for both of us. We continue to ascend through the sky, as if the moon were our destination. Ah! I have never seen such an expanse of the world before me in my life. I can't help but to shout and drive away all that fear, pressure, and frustration in my heart. Why are you screaming like a banshee? I feel better when I do that. And I thought you were shouting to give yourself some courage, you coward. That was true at first, but now I know that feeling in finding out the actual meaning of life. I can see things more positively when I shout. Really? You have attained the next level of enlightenment? Yes, thanks to you, I can feel my face getting hot, possibly because she's holding on to me tightly. My heart is also racing so much I'm tongue-tied. What do you want to say? Out with it, otherwise I may feel embarrassed if you keep staring dumbfounded at me like this. Yella glances at me to show her dissatisfied expression. You're so beautiful. Her cheeks look so smooth under that moonlight, reminding me of that time I first met her inside that hole in the tree. Can we be together? Upon saying those words, I can feel my heart beating so wildly it is about to burst. Yella's heart also seems to be racing as quickly as mine beyond those two thin layers of clothes between us. I'm totally not embarrassed at reading these lines. No. Is there any way for you to show us the full image? Like this? Oh wait, maybe with no overlay you mean? Wait, I can do anything. Give me a second. So... Does this work? Yeah, I think it's very pretty. Yay. I hope I didn't ruin yours about my request. No, not at all. I'm glad you asked it. I want to interact more with the chat and with all of the cinnamon buns, so I'm just happy to show you that. Okay, we are back. Also, the background music is so nice. She stood for a moment, then she looks away towards the moon.
私たちは一緒の運命でしょ。忘れたの？
We're
私から離れたら
Oops.
あんたは死ぬのよ。
We're already together, aren't we? Don't forget you will die if you leave me. Goodness, that sort of response though. No, I don't mean that. Can you accept me?
あんたは私が選んだしもべよ。しもべを受け入れない主人なんていないわ。
Didn't I choose you as my child? Which master wouldn't accept their servants? So am I ⴰᴏ after all this time just yet? Thank you. No. I want to explain, but I can't utter anything because my throat feels tight. She's dense. Yesu. On the other hand, if I don't pluck up my courage to express my feelings, will I ever have the guts to say it again in the future? He just wants to be loved! Indeed. I don't mean that. If I don't even have the courage to pursue that happiness, how can I ever become that brave man she like it? I mean, can we...
見て、月がすごく綺麗。
Wow, look, the moon is so beautiful. Shut up, Yella! I want to confess my feelings, but Yella's sudden exclamation has stopped me from doing
大
so.
きくてまんまりよ。
It's big and round. Does she know what I mean? She should, since she is so much smarter than me. But she chose to change the subject. Yes. I have no choice but to stop myself from saying it. Come on, main character! What a big butt main... Weak, not big. I can't English again! My brains are not working. What a weak butt main character we have here. She probably wanted to spare me the heartbreak because I can't become that man she liked it after all. It's so beautiful. I follow her gaze. The white moon looks brighter than before, producing a circular glow through those thin clouds.
そろそろ降りても良さそうね。
About time we head down. Bella holds on to me tightly before veering downwards. I'm so disappointed in you, my guy. You're so annoying. I even praised you about your fashion sense, about how you were with more brains than I thought. And after all, you're just a weakling? Because of a vampire woman? No, no. That's not the correct way of proceeding with the visual novel, you know? The minute we land on firm ground again, it is a relief, but I'm also disappointed by that sudden rejection. You should have spoken up.
何ぼやっとしてるのよ。飛び足りなかった？
What are you dreaming about? Haven't flown enough yet? Yella tucks her broad black wings inside her. The next thing I know, her appendages have disappeared as if they don't exist, and she has returned to look like a normal girl. Huh? No. I'm a bit relieved to know that she's still talking to me in the same tone as before. Our relationship can go further, but at least it didn't become
飛
awkward.
んでる時に私たちのアパートの近くにもパトカーが何台も止まってるのが見えたわ。きっとあの辺りにも不法移民が大勢住んでるのね。
I saw a lot of police cars parked in your apartment while we were in the air. I think there are a lot of illegal immigrants staying around the place, so we should lie low and avoid that area for a few days. Really, but our money is stashed in the apartment. Right now, I only have my salary of 300 on me.
大丈夫よ。これを見て。
Don't worry, look here. Yella produces a black case she obtained some time ago. What is this thing?
さっきの人たちからいただいたの。きっとお金がいっぱい入ってるわ。遠くからでもプンプン匂いがしてたもの。
I snatched it from those people earlier. It must be filled with money because I could smell them even from afar. Oh my goodness, like a true criminal once again. Yella waves the container triumphantly. That's why I suddenly disappeared just
当
now.
然。目の前に現れたんだから見逃すわけないでしょ。こっちから探しに行ったんじゃないし、あんな悪どいやつらいい人のはずがないわ。
Of course.
開けてみましょう。いくら入ってるのかしら。
Ababa. Of course, it was right in front of me, and I couldn't possibly leave it behind. Don't you think so? Anyway, I didn't go looking for them. They looked so threatening and couldn't be up to anything good. Let's open it and see how much money is inside. I wonder if there will be money or something else too. Fine. Yella used both hands to open the briefcase, but I think it's more solid than she expected.
硬いわね。こうなったら無理やり。
It's so firm, then it can't be helped. Wait, if you break it, all the money will fly away, and we won't have anything to hold
じゃあ
them.
あんたがやって。
You do it then! She throws the keys over to me in exasperation. When I examine the thing, I notice it has a small button and 3 sets of mobile dials with a number on each of them near the handle. You probably need to turn the dials to a correct number of combination before it can be
難
opened.
しそう。
It's so troublesome. It's just 3 numbers. Since we have plenty of time, let's find a place to sit and try all the numbers if we have
そ
to.
うね。任せたわよ、しもべ。
Okay, I'll leave it to you, Troll. Goodness. All the hard work to me. More like all the painful work to me. We sit on a roadside bench, and I press the button each time I change a number to make sure that I don't miss any combination. I didn't know you can even fly. Are we trying to go back onto that topic? Ooh. The work is rather dull, so I decide to chat with
も
Yella.
ちろん飛べるわ。あれが私の完全体の姿なの。
Of course I can. It's my complete form. That's really amazing.
ヴァンパイアは天に呪われた生き物。呪いを受ける以上、強い力も授けてもらわないと不公平でしょ。
Vampires are creatures cursed by heaven. It would be too unfair if we didn't have any amazing powers in exchange for being cursed. Cursed? You don't look any different from other human beings except for your need to suck blood.
命に関わる呪いよ。でも、あんたには関係ないから安心して。
It is a life-threatening curse, but that has nothing to do with you, don't worry. By the way, I suddenly remembered that I was knocked unconscious in the city when that group of ruffians were abducting me back then, and I woke up in the mountain afterwards. Did you fly to bring me there at that time?
そうよ。あの時は随分消耗したけど、あんたにはそれだけの価値があったわ。
Wait! Big brain strikes again. Maybe she ignored us because we didn't say straightforward that we loved her. Maybe the curse had something to do with receiving a confession from someone else without mentioning it herself. Oh well. Correct, I spent quite a lot of energy at that time, but I can say your performance more than made up for it. You're really a clever vampire. Weren't you worried that I wouldn't believe you and leave you for good? That you would have spent all that energy for nothing.
結局あんたは信じたじゃない。今さらそんなこと言ったって仕方ないわ。私たちはもうグルなんだから。
In the end, you believed me. And bringing this up won't change anything by now. We have become mutually dependent on each other. How else would I describe a smart lady like you? Come to think of it, now I understand why you were so weak on the following day after that rescue. You looked so fragile at the time, I had even wondered if I was following a fake
それ
vampire.
であんなに慎重だったのね。ただのお人よしかと思ってたのに。
That means you have been nitpicking? To think that I see you as a good man? That's your own imagination. I don't have the word good written all over my
まだ
face.
警戒する必要がありそうね。いつか反逆してくるかもしれないわ。
Looks like I still have to be on my guard against you, in case you betray me one day. I wouldn't dare to do that sort of thing, especially if it is a sure way to die. Anyway, why didn't you use your amazing powers of light when you were hit by a bullet the other time? We almost lost our
い
lives.
つでも使える能力じゃないの。一度使うと回復するのに時間がかかるのよ。
I can emulate that ability whenever I like. It is constrained by a very long recovery period after each use. I say, looks like it isn't that marvelous. Immediately after making that remark, the briefcase clicks open, revealing a small slit at the center. Oh, it's
い
open.
くら入ってるの？早く見て。
How much is inside? Let's see it quickly. I opened the case to see it is filled with neatly arranged stacks of banknotes. The set is so amazing that I nearly forget to breathe. There is so much. How am I going to count
バ
them?
カね。横に9列、縦に3列。
So it's money
一列
after
に
all.
3束あって、1束が100枚ずつだから。
Idiot, there are 9 bundles along the length. 3 bundles along the breadth, 3 bundles along the height, and each bundle has 100 notes. Yella quickly flips through the money in the briefcase and gives the answer in no
ずっと80
time.
万以上はあるわね。
I wonder if she did study maths for this type of purpose. Goodness. I get her it has around 800,000 or more. 800,000? This number is so huge, I have no idea of the magnitude at all. How much is 800,000?
すごくたくさん。これだけあればレストランも開けるわ。
A lot, so much so that you can buy a restaurant with this amount.
で
Really?
もそれはまた後で。まずは高級ホテルに泊まるわよ。
But that can wait. Right now, I just want to stay in that luxury hotel. Yella is yelling so much. Yella gets up from the bench and stretches. Yeah, now that we have a lot of money, we can stay for as long as we like. I wonder if they call her Yella because Sundara yells a lot at us. Oh my goodness. We returned to that hotel. We stayed a month ago. Yella has booked that same suite without any delay once again. I cannot see her name the same as it was before after this thought. Oh my goodness. Geez, Yella sure yells a lot, indeed. This place is so comfy. Yella immediately goes inside when we return to that room. I turn on the lights and change into the pair of slippers the hotel provided. I smell of cooking oil, I smoke from the kitchen. I'm going to take a bath.
はいはい、いってらっしゃい。邪魔しないで。
Yes, go ahead, don't disturb me. Yella has already tucked herself inside the blanket. She's watching an unfamiliar program on the TV after turning it on adeptly and laughing like a fool at the same time. Reminds me of Baba. Totally. This scene is a little bewildering to me. It even feels as if we have traveled back in time to a point 30 days earlier. Nevertheless, the minute my eyes fall on the black briefcase on the table, I realize it is filled with the means to fulfill my dreams all these years, and this is something I could never have imagined a month ago. Oh, we completed chapter 4. How many chapters are there? Is this the epilogue? Or the next morning, I wake to the sounds of rustling from my blanket due to all the tossing and turning in bed, and I'm greeted by that rather familiar sailing when I open my eyes. In the short span of one night, such a major change happened in my life. This is so unbelievable. I just need to get out of bed and I can fulfill my life's ambition. Where should I open my restaurant? How should I renovate it? What dishes should I offer on the menu? When I was a child, I often harbored similar fantasies about the things I could do if I became rich. The only difference is that I have money and can afford to do a lot of things now. Yella, have you thought of what you wanted to do if you had money when you were small? She should have woken up to laze around in bed like me, I think. But you probably wouldn't think of this question since you came from a rich family in the past. When I was young, I had this dream where if I had money, I would buy a large parcel of land. I lost the text. Build an enclosure around it, grow vegetables, and rear all kinds of livestock to grab anything I liked from my estate whenever I needed to eat something so that I wouldn't have to go hungry again. I have been talking for a long time, but Yella isn't responding at all. What's going on? Yala? I turned to her side of the bed, only to see that she isn't lying there as I had thought. Yala? Then I look at the bathroom and call her name loudly. Is she there? Still no response. Where did she go? I'm not particularly worried about it. It's not as if we are in a life-threatening situation right now. Yala has lived for centuries, and it shouldn't be unusual for her to wander around by herself. Anyway, we have a pact, and she would not go too far away from me. About time I get up. I scratch my head and climb out of bed. Hey, are you hiding inside? Yala has turned to dust. I hope she did not, but I'm afraid someone stole her away. Like some of them realize that she's not human. Before, I immediately lie prone on the floor after getting off the bed to look underneath. Of course there's nothing inside. Not there after all. She's not a fool. Why would she sleep under the bed? I go over to open the gauze curtains at the window. The early morning sun is shining on the back of my hand through the thin glass panel and fabric to cast a shadow, resembling an imprint with holes buried by insects. The skyscrapers standing before me are still stunning like foreign objects from beyond the skies. Not that I'm seeing so many changes around me, along with that lonely feeling and the gust of wind blowing across the curtains, they combine to leave me gasping for breath. I look at the table and sofa beside me. Yala sat at this spot to watch the scenery when we first stayed here. The table has a desk calendar with an envelope underneath. I don't remember seeing it here earlier. What is this? I move the calendar away and pick up the envelope to see that it is entirely blank on the outside, hence I open it to discover a one-page letter inside. Dear Rylan, you can open your restaurant. I should also go and look for my companion. I lied to you about the so-called agreement because I wanted you to come with me to learn more about this world. No, that's a lie. Now I have understood it. You are free. Yala. The wording in the farewell letter is very simple and I can understand all of it. I am free. I read the entire letter, only to feel a bit hurt. Free, how does that feel? The black briefcase full of money is propped beside the table. I open the case, it's still filled with money. Although a small amount is gone. Leila probably took a while for herself. She's really left? When I look at this innumerable amount of money, I feel sad instead. Option 1, fine. The remaining amount of money is still a lot and should suffice. No. Nope. No, that girl wouldn't know anything besides using her fists to send people flying. She lacked common sense and didn't book 2 separate hotel rooms because she feared being alone. A careless girl like her would not be able to last a month with that paltry amount of money she took with her, let alone travel the world to search for her companion. Even if she wanted to find her fellow kin, why couldn't she tell me to ask for my help in searching for that person? Must she leave without saying a word? To tell me the amount of trust we had in each other was so weak despite all those close encounters with life and death. Now I have to look for her to clarify things. Where would she go? I take a seat on the sofa that Yellow used to sit a month ago, then I tried to recall every bit of detail back then. She asked me about my plans at that time, and said decisively that she would help me to fulfill my dreams. Later, I found work at Eastern Bar. After that, we led a normal working life. Yellow would chat and laugh at times as she followed me to work and back home. She would occasionally appear downcast while looking at the calendar when we stayed in that simple apartment. I had asked her about it, but she just said she was counting the number of days it would take for me to realize my ambition. I had even asked her jokingly if it would take an entire lifetime, I think. She just smiled at that time. And yesterday's sevens, maybe it was yesterday, my words might have caused her to feel awkward, so she hated me and wanted to leave me. That's why she wanted to look for her true love. No, Yellow would often blush at my words, but she wasn't the type of girl to be affected that easily by a couple of remarks. What's going on? The more I think about it, the more I'm getting confused. Yellow seems to be walking by herself among the crowd of pedestrians on the main road outside, just like this lone desk calendar on the table. Right, Yellow also appeared forlorn when she looked at this calendar a month ago. Perhaps her departure has something to do with the dates listed on it? I look at the perpetual calendar clock on the wall. Today is 24 June 1972. 24 June, 26 June. Suddenly I remember a date that has left a lasting impression on me. 26 June 1672. It was raining unusually hard that night. I was pursued by yearlings and sought a refuge inside a tree. I met Yella there for the first time. I can never remember what happened after that, but I vaguely recall that she was in a deep slumber like a cursed sleeping beauty. Curse. That life-threatening curse? We talked about the curse on vampires while I was attempting to open the briefcase last night. Yella didn't say much, but she did mention it was life-threatening. She left because of the curse. She said that had nothing to do with me, so she could have disappeared because she didn't want me to get involved. But where will she go? I look out the window. The bright sun from earlier is now being obscured by a few grey clouds. Looks like it is going to rain. Anyway, I have to spring into action. Where is she? Think. Option 1, her old mansion. Option 2, that hole in the tree. This is getting difficult. Perhaps it's that hole in the tree. We met for the first time inside that place. I also slept there for 300 years before coming to this era. Suppose the curse had really led her to that encounter with me from 3 centuries ago. Then she might even be inside right now. I ran to the hotel front desk and asked for help in hiring a taxi before rushing to that part of the forest in the direction I can remember. That expanse of forest lies on the city's periphery. As the taxi reaches its destination, it begins to drizzle. I disembarked from the vehicle and ran up the mountain by following a path I took over a month ago. I can hear faint rumbling noises in the distance. Back then, I mistook one of those machines for monsters. I'm convinced that I'm heading in the right direction. However, the place where those sounds came from has a chain link fence surrounding it with only a small opening at one side. The minute I try to enter through that gap, a well-built man stops me. Hey, this is a logging camp. No admittance to unauthorized personnel. I have business here. I'm looking for one of your staff. Who are you looking for? John. I utter a name I can remember off the top of my head. John, we're looking for him. His family is expecting a child soon, and they asked me to notify him on their behalf. So we are smart after all. I can't lie and try my best to sound believable. I see, that's wonderful news. Wait here, I'll tell him immediately. The man goes towards a group of people cutting down trees with chainsaws in the distance. I take advantage of this opportunity to slip inside the logging camp and search for that large tree with a big hole. However, this place only has small trees left. Most of the large ones have been felled, leaving behind their bare stumps. My heart sinks at this discovery, but I'm not ready to give up just yet, so I head further inside. Suddenly I spot a white figure about 100 meters away. Like those well-built lumberjacks who passed me earlier, the person is small-sized and alone. I become overjoyed and run there. Getting close and feeling more exuberant as the outline of that white figure becomes clearer to me. Oh, she's crying. It's still drizzling with raindrops hitting my chest. She's holding a black umbrella and sitting on a tree stump, thinking about something. On seeing me pop up while gasping for breath, she freezes like a statue. Yella! Rylan? Yella's eyes are wide open in shock as she looks up at me. Phew, great, I finally found you. You... How could you abandon me? Am I that sort of man you could appease with money alone? I'm so relieved now that I have found her. I don't feel so anxious anymore. Idiot! She's looking at me with a mixed expression. Her tone sounds angry and relieved at the same time. You can't read at all? I can, you wrote in such a simple way that I almost thought you regarded me as a child. That means you still couldn't understand what I wrote to you? Dewdrops appear in her eyes, like amethysts. It's clear enough you're searching for your companion, aren't you? Bring me along, I will go with you. Fool, I don't need you anymore. Go away. But I need you. I'm so lonely in this world with too many cold and unfeeling machines. I can only sense that warmth when you're at my side. I have such a weak heart, it is pathetic. The minute I can see you, my heart will race, leaving me in a fluster. No matter where you intend to go, don't leave me all by myself, please. Don't leave me to my fate with those ruffians. This is embarrassing. She seems amused and the tension in her body has eased a
ヴァ
little.
ンパイアは恐れないのに不良が怖いの？
You aren't scared of vampires, yet you fear togs? Everything I said is from the bottom of my heart.
私は
Yella takes a deep breath and assumes a serious expression, as if she has made up her mind to tell me something.
私は不幸をもたらすだけ。
I will only bring misfortune. It didn't
黙
happen.
って聞いて。
Shut up, let me finish. Yella stares directly at my eyes, and I nod to indicate that I won't interrupt
ヴァ
her.
ンパイアになって何年かしら。もう思い出せないけど、いくつか覚えてることがあるの。
I have been a vampire for many years. I can remember the exact. Sorry. I have been a vampire for many years and can remember the exact length of time, but some parts are still etched in my
ヴァ
memory.
ンパイアになったばかりの頃、私は城壁の隅の死体の山から外傷のない死体を探して
Story time.
血をすすっていたわ。守備隊将校の妻である私のお母さんに出会うまで。
I remember when I just became a vampire, I had to survive on blood from corpses that were piled up at one corner of the city walls. Well, their blood hadn't dried up yet until I met my mother. She was the wife of one of the garrisoned
彼女
officers.
はその日、夫の亡骸を探しにやってきた。彼女は私を戦争孤児だと思い、養子にして育ててくれた。名前もつけてくれたわ。それがᴄ崚でした。
Wait, give me a second. I'm not sure if I follow it properly. Ah! No. Okay. The day she came to look for her dead husband's body, she thought I was a war orphan and adopted me. She gave me a name called Yella
自
Lester.
分の名前があって新しいお母さんがいる。私はもう一人じゃない。すごく幸せだったわ。
I had my own name and a new mother. I wasn't alone anymore. I was
で
overjoyed.
も私はヴァンパイア。人間の食べ物では生きていけない。お母さんにはすぐバレたわ。お母さんは私を責めなかった。それどころか毎日カモの血を探してきてくれた。
But I have always been a vampire. I couldn't eat the food humans take at all, and my mother found that out in no time. But she didn't blame me. Instead, she will go out and buy poultry blood for me every day.
当時私たちの町は敵に包囲されていた。物がだんだん少なくなって血を見つけるのも難しくなった。血が見つからないとき、彼女は私にお母さんの血を吸いなさいと言ったわ。
At that time, the city was besieged by enemies. Things became more scarce, and it was getting harder for my mother to procure blood for me. When she couldn't obtain any, she allowed me to suck her blood.
最初は抵抗したけど、本能には抗えず、結局お母さんの血を吸ってしまった。血を吸うたびに、少しずつお母さんは衰弱していったわ。
I resisted the idea at first, but my instincts took over an irrational thought, and I eventually sucked my mother's blood. Little by little, she became weaker.
そして、ある夜、城壁が壊され、大勢の敵が押し寄せてきた。奴らは誰かで構わず、出会い頭に切りつけていったわ。
Later, the city walls were breached at night. A large group of enemies charged inside and cut down anyone they could
お
see.
母さんは私を連れて兵士や市民の残党に紛れて町から逃げ出したけど、体が悪い彼女は早く走ることができなくて、私たちは取り残されてしまった。そして何人かの敵に追いつかれた時、お母さんは振り返り敵の行く手を阻んだ。
My mother brought
彼
me
女は
along.
身を挺して私が逃げ出す時間を作 ってくれ
Not my turn yet, sorry. My mother brought me along with her to join the army remnants and refugees in fleeing the city, but she wasn't in the best of health and couldn't run quickly enough. We were separated from the rest of the group, the enemy caught up with us, and she turned around to impede them. She used her own body to buy time for me to escape. That is so sad, Alexa, play Despacito! It is still raining and small puddles that produce tiny ripples have already formed on the ground. Yalla's lips are shuddering as if her next set of words are filled with
彼
despair.
女が微笑みながら私を押しやる姿まで
Thank you, Baba Alexa!
大丈夫お母さんがあなたを守るから
I'll still remember how she looked when she smiled and pushed me aside to this day. She told me this, don't worry, mother will protect you. This is so sad! She chokes on saying this part.
私がいなければお母さんはあんなひどい死に方
My mother wouldn't have died so horribly if not for me. That's not your fault. The gears of war would always shatter the normal peaceful life in everyone without any
私
mercy.
のせいよ
Oh,
もし私みたいな化け物に出会わなかったらもし私がお母さんの血を吸わなかったら
it's my fault if she didn't encounter a monster like me. If I didn't suck so much blood from her. You're not a monster, Yalla! But that's because she loved you.
分かってる分かってるわだからそれが苦しくて死にたいとも思ったでも勇気がなくてなんて邪悪なのかしら私はただ生き残りたかっただけ
Alexa played the worst day since yesterday by flogging Molly. I know. So I felt bitter about it and wanted to die, but I didn't have the courage. I was too evil. I just wanted to survive. I wanna take her God Girl umbrella and bonk her on the head. Really now? What is that kind of reasoning? No! Those are your survival instincts. Your mother will definitely want you to live as well. Indeed.
それから逃亡の道すがらたくさんの人が私を助けてくれたわそして私は本能的に彼らの体内に流れる血を欲した猛然殺めてしまったわ彼らの死に何も感じなくなるほど本当にたくさんの人を
Later, a lot of people also helped me to escape. My survival instincts influenced me to desert their blood, and I killed a lot of them, until I lost count and became numb to death.
そして私は人間を利用するだけ利用して容赦なく捨てることを学んだたまに心を動かされてこのままこの人と一生を過ごそうかななんて思った人も一人二人はいるわだけど神様はいつも不幸を起こすのまるで私みたいな化け物が幸せになっちゃいけないって警告するみたいな
Thus I learned how to use people and cast them aside without having any mercy for them. Sometimes I was moved by one or two of them and thought of spending the rest of my life with that person, but heaven would always bring misfortune to harm a monster like me that I did not deserve any happiness. Oh?
これでわかった私と一緒にいても不幸を招くだけ戻ってあんたの夢を叶えて
Rylan, do you understand me now? If you stay with me, I would only bring misfortune to you. Go back and fulfill your
ま
dreams.
たあんたのレストランに行くかもしれないわそれまでにちゃんとᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜの作り方を覚えておくんだな
I might even patronize your restaurant in future. Hopefully you will have learned how to prepare ᴄᴏᴍᴜᴜ by then. Yell smiles on her lip on finishing her story. Her pupils contract slightly, reflecting a mirror image of myself. Yet I feel hurt when I see her smile instead. With the passage of time, she has experienced how many separations. Right now she is so used to being alone. She should be longing for a companion as much. No. The more I understand this strong and fragile vampire girl, the more I want to be with her. The moment this idea pops up in my head, it feels as if a flame is being whipped up to ignite every part of my body and give me a new sense of purpose in this empty world. Wait, that is why she ignored us when we tried to confess. Oi! I won't die for you, but I still want to fulfill your dreams. And mine with you. We'll go together if you want to leave.
まだわからないの？
You still don't understand?
どうしてそんなにバカなのよ。私と一緒にいたら警察や悪党なんかより100倍恐ろしい目に遭うのよ。あんたの命なんか簡単に消し飛ぶんだから。私もお腹が空いてあんたの血を吸い尽くすかもしれない。死にたくないなら私と一緒にいちゃダメなの。
Why are you so stupid? If you go with me, you might encounter forces 100 times more scary than the police and criminals. You could lose your life very easily. I might even suck all of your blood if I become hungry enough. Don't follow me if you want to leave. I promise I won't die that
そん
easily.
な約束根拠がないわ。
Such a promise by you has no weight at all. Ouch!
何をどう聞いてたらそんなことが言えるのよ。
I spent so much time to tell you all this and you weren't listening at all? This promise is far simpler than fetching the sun at
バ
least.
カ！こんな時に冗談をやめて。
Idiot, don't joke at a time like this. I'm not joking, I'm serious. I really value my life and fear death the most. I would have died many times earlier if not for your help this time again. That's why I came to look for you, not because I want to die, but because I want to live. I grab her hands and pull her closer to me. They're trembling slightly and feel colder than before, maybe because we're wet from the rain.
やめて。
Stop it. Are you worried about the curse? Bella's eyes pop wide open. After some hesitation, she mutters something and stops halfway before looking at the thick rain clouds on the sky above.
そうよ。
Right. I thought so. Can you tell me?
天が与えたヴァンパイアに対する呪いよ。この呪いは一定の周期でやってくる。呪いがやってきた時、ヴァンパイアのいる場所に激しい雷が落ちるの。これをヴァンパイアたちは天雷と呼んでいるわ。なんとか身を隠さないとあっという間に死んでしまう。
The curse originated from the conflict between heaven and vampires. It comes at certain intervals. Whenever it occurs, the sky will send extremely powerful streaks of lightning at the vampires, which they call the lightning from the heavens, and they will be killed if they can find a way to hide from it. Oh.
300年前、私があの洞に隠れていたのは天雷を避けるためだった。
300 years ago, I hid inside that tree to avoid
本
it.
来、天雷が落ちる周期はかなり長いの。だから、経験豊かなヴァンパイアは長い時間をかけて準備する。だけど今回は目覚めるのが遅すぎて、ここ数日中に次の天雷が落ちるかもしれない。
The lightning essentially has a very long time interval between each occurrence. For this reason, the more experienced vampires would also spend a lot of time to prepare for it. But I woke up too late this time. Heaven might even deliver that lightning in the next few days.
天雷の威力は凄まじいものよ。今回は避けられないかもしれない。
The lightning is very powerful. I'm not even sure if I can avoid it this time.
私と一緒にいちゃダメなの。あんたも巻き添えになって死ぬかもしれないのよ。
So you can stay with me, otherwise you might lose your life too. I see. I have a huge sigh of relief, but Yella has become more nervous at my response instead. I thought it was something big. We just need to find shelter from lightning, so it should be simple enough. Don't you think so? You didn't ask this absolutely clever thinker here for help, but you would run off to hide and think by yourself instead. Aren't you stupid by doing that?
あんたが賢い？冗談よしてよ。あんたと議論するつもりはないの。天雷はあんたには関係ないことよ。今は何も考えず私から離れてればいいの。うまく逃げられて、もし気が向いたら帰ってあんたを探すから。
An absolutely clever thinker, have it your way. I'm not going to argue with you. The lightning from the heavens has nothing to do with you. Just stay away from me and don't think of anything else for now. If I manage to survive, I may even come back to look for you when I'm in a good mood. No, I won't leave you. I'm going to see you through it this time, no matter what happens in future as well. Forever. You shouldn't run off by yourself again, nor drive me away, or else I might have to take more extreme steps. Are you cheating at me? Yes, if you want to flee and leave me behind, I will look for you again like today. Even if you run to the ends of the earth, I will surely find you. Don't think you can run away.
まったく、軟膏みたいにへばりついてくるわね。もう好きにしなさい。でも、何かあったら、私は真っ先にあんたを見捨てるからね。私はヴァンパイアなんだから。
Really? You're just like a sticky ointment? Whatever. But I will leave you at the first opportunity if anything happens. Don't forget I am a vampire! Goodness! Sorry. I thought she's saying it this way. Her lips have curved upwards. You might not be able to leave me that easily either. My tongue is slipped.
あまり調子に乗らないことね。
Don't be too full of yourself. She's always hard on the outside and soft on the inside. Since the lightning will strike from the sky, the key thing here is to hide from it. We just need to find a place like that hole in a tree, take shelter inside and everything will be fine, no? At most we'll just sleep for another 300 years.
そんな簡単にはいかないわ。あの裏は私が長い時間をかけて準備したものよ。残念だけど、もう切られちゃってるし。今から裏を探して準備しても間に合わないわ。
Things aren't as simple as that. I spent a lot of time to prepare that shelter. Unfortunately, that tree has been chopped off, and we won't have enough time to find and prepare another one. That means you have been sitting here to wait for your death like an idiot all this while?
バカはあんたでしょ。
Hey, you are the idiot here. Looks like I have hit the nail on the head. What a foolish and pitiful day. Day or lady with. Lady. The lightning from the heavens should arrive on the 26th. We'll still have another 2 days to prepare for it.
誰が26日だって言ったのよ。
Who told you it falls on the 26th? It happened on June 26th last
天
time.
雷が来る周期は完全に一定じゃなくて大体しか決まってないの。これから数日はいつ来てもおかしくない状況よ。
The lightning doesn't come at a specific time. We only have a rough estimate of when it might occur, so it could strike at any moment over the next few days. That means it can happen anytime. I look up at the cloudy sky above. The continuous drizzling seems to have stopped.
そうよ。1秒後に来るかもしれないわ。
Correct, it may even arrive any second now. Are you
どう
joking?
したの？怖くなった？でも天雷が来る時には前兆があるわ。まず数日雨の日が続くの。
What's the matter? You're scared? Anyway, the lightning will display early warning signs, such as raining continuously for days beforehand. Oh, just like the weather the other time. 3 centuries ago, it was raining heavily with thunderstorms and the yearlings were in hot pursuit. Then a monster attacked them and I had to flee for my life. The rain has more or less stopped. That means the lightning won't arrive for a while yet. Shall we find another place to hide since that tree is
どこ行
gone?
くの？
Where can we go? Let's search for a shelter in the city. Think about it. That place has so many skyscrapers. And they are higher than the tallest tree in the forest. That means the people nowadays aren't afraid of lightning at all, and they have already found a way to avoid
天
it.
雷は普通の雷とは違うわ。
The lightning from heavens isn't an ordinary thunderstorm. Regardless of the intensity, it can't possibly fall a high-rise building, don't you think so? We hid inside that large tree for 3 centuries, and it didn't get struck to pieces back then. I still have no idea on how to solve our predicament, but I should at least give Yellow some confidence. Let's go, Missy, you have me.
今回はあんたの言うことを聞いてみるわ。
This time, I will listen to you. Yellow hesitates for a while, but she extends her hand to allow me to pull her up. When we returned to the city, we wandered around the bustling downtown area for a search for a suitable shelter, but most of the high-rise buildings had very big doors and windows. According to Ea, the lightning from the heavens could cut across those large openings very easily, so the skyscrapers weren't desirable shelters. I know, I've stepped on a manhole cover leading into the stinking drainage system below while Yella is looking at the surrounding tall buildings. Of course I know these are sewer tunnels by now, and I suddenly have an idea. Should I hide deep in the underground passages below? The lightning from the heavens won't be able to locate us that easily. We took refuge in the sewers earlier. The place may be wet, dark, and has a strong stench, but it should be a good place to take shelter.
わからないわ。数百年前はこんな場所なんてなかったから。
I don't know, this sort of place didn't exist centuries ago. The tunnels are deeper than that hole in the tree, and the skyscrapers are so densely packed together. If we hide under the ground, there are plenty of tall buildings above. The lightning won't be able to hit below, even if it arcs around all these high-rise structures. Yella stares at the manhole cover for a long time. Eventually, she reaches a
やっ
decision.
てみましょう。
Let's try it then. Okay, in that case, we need to prepare some
必
supplies.
要なものって
Supplies? It is dark and down below. We don't even know exactly when the lightning will strike, so we need to make provisions for a stay there, which might be quite a while.
大丈夫よ。そんな時に結構体力を使っちゃったけど、数日は耐えられるわ。
I'm okay, although I spent a lot of my energy to fly earlier. I can take some hardship if it's just a few days. But we should at least bring some mats with us, since we can just sit on the hard surface. We also need some candles for
凝っ
lighting.
てるわね。
You're really thinking of everything. Can't you say I have your comfort in mind? We should prepare some food and water too. You might be able to last without eating anything, but not for me.
人間は軟弱ね。
Human weakling. She smiles brilliantly, with her face so radiant. It has removed the apprehension in my heart. We spent the whole afternoon to buy our stuff. By the time we returned to our hotel, the sky had already turned dark. We planned to pack everything in our room before bringing them with us into the sewers. Candles, canned food, mats, water. I'm sorting out the items we bought today on the floor. Raylan. Yella has been watching me count our supplies. She seems troubled for some reason as she calls my name softly.
そんなことしなくても、
You don't have to do this.
私だけ下水道に隠れるわ。レイランはここで待ってて。絶対に戻ってくるから。
I hide in the sewers by myself. Just wait here for me. I'll definitely come back to look for you, okay? I thought we agreed on it earlier. Why are you having second thoughts again? You still don't trust me?
あんたの気持ちは分かってるわ。
Thank you for the hydrated Baba. I understand your good
でも
intentions.
その方がいいじゃない。あんたがそこまでする必要。
But this way is better, don't you think so? You don't have to go to that extent. Yeah, listen up. I want to see you survive this lightning from the heavens with my own eyes, and I will not back down. Ever since we came to this world, we have faced our difficulties together time and again, isn't that so? It's the same this time around. Let's not go separate ways again, alright?
分かった。
Fine. She didn't argue further. Maybe she has grasped the serious tone in every word from me. We should hide inside as soon as possible just in
い
case.
つ？
When? Tonight. We'll go as soon as I'm done packing.
え？そんなに早く？
So soon? Her face closed over. Why?
知ってたら聞かなかったわ。
I wouldn't have asked you if I had known earlier. Why?
学科のベッド、広々としたバスタブ。
That face.
ここでもう一晩寝たいの。
My soft bed and comfy bathtub. Oh, you want to sleep here for another night. You only care about this? Can't you see that it's better to be safe than sorry? Anyway, we're only staying there for 2 days.
つか、丸2日よ。あの臭いドブの中に2日もいるのよ。この素晴らしい最後の夜さえ私から奪うのは？
2 days? An entire 2 days? You're asking me to stay in the stinky sewers for 2 days? Now you're even robbing me of this wonderful final night here. Her mood has changed dramatically. Now she's rolling about on the bed, while complaining and gnashing her teeth. As if I'm a demanding boss. My lady, stop fooling around. I can cry over this. Her mood can change more quickly than flipping pages through a book. What a little monster. After she has finished her angry tirade, she said she wanted to say goodbye to her dear little bathtub and entered the bathroom. leaving me all alone in the room to resume sorting out our provisions. I would really love to take a bath too. Once we go, there's no telling whether we would be able to return here or not. At night, we made our way into the sewers via a spot near the tallest building in the entire city. Shortly after we entered the underground tunnels, it began to rain heavily and raised the water level, so we hurried further inside. Phew, good thing we got in early enough.
あんたってついてるわね。
Consider it your lucky day. It is the same art from when she was sad inside of her house, realizing her prized possessions were stolen. But I do like how they reinserted it here. It is even slightly animated with the floating dust or whatever that is. I really like the candlelight as well here. Very pretty. Consider it your lucky day. Rainwater is flowing into the canals beside the walkway, producing a stench wafting upwards. A few rats scurried past me under the light from my candle. Although I have mentally prepared myself earlier, I have to say this place is worse than I thought when it's raining. Do I have to stay here for some
や
time?
めて。鼻がおかしくなりそう。
Enough, I'm going to lose my sense of smell.
バスタブちゃんが恋しいわ。泡風呂に入りたい。
I miss my dear little bathtub. How wish I could take a bubble bath. You can lean on me. I've bathed and sprayed perfume on myself. The fragrance will mask the stench.
私もちょうど眠くなってたところ。
Not a moment too soon, I'm getting tired. Girl didn't mock me. She leans on me and closes her eyes to rest without any shyness or hesitation. I can feel the warmth in her breathing. We sit and snuggle together on the individual mats we have prepared for ourselves earlier. People might say this scene feels warm and harmonious, but I don't think so. The girl I care a lot is so close to me. Which man wouldn't feel excited about it? One of my organs is extremely active, right? It's my heart. Thumping non-stop. I hope Yella won't hear this embarrassing series of heartbeats. Another part is getting firm. Yes, it's the muscles. I can possibly allow a girl to lean on flabby muscles. We stay like this for some time. The rain outside seems to be getting heavier, creating a surge in the water from underground flow. What? In the water flow underground, sorry. Sewage is flowing constantly from upstream to downstream, and the odor is getting stronger, assaulting our noses non-stop. We are really fated to be here. This stench reminds me of that feeling when I hauled dung as a child.
クソ鳥？
Hauled dung? Yella raised her head to look at me. When I opened my mouth, her eyes are sparkling under the candlelight.
その話を聞くのは初めてよね。
I never heard you say this before. Well, it's not a nice thing to talk about. I scratch my head in embarrassment. That is quite an unpleasant memory. Are you interested? Would you like to hear it?
さっさと話しなさいよ。
That goes without saying. She pinches my arm. I know that feeling. Earlier, I told you Mr. Cook adopted me.
え？
Yes? Yella responds briefly before adding a
あ
remark.
んたの偉大な料理人。クックさんの昔話を何度も聞いたわ。
You've already told me those tale stories about your great chef Mr. Cook many times. Oops, I rolled my head in embarrassment. Anyway, an orphanage run by a religious group took me in. Before I met Mr. Cook, the staff admitted me, but in fact, only a few cared if the orphans will live or die. We relied on ourselves most of the time. I had to work for everyone when I could understand things and shoveled dung most of the time. The smell was comparable to this place. We also took turns to prepare meals at that time. I would often wipe my dirty hands on a wall and cook for everyone after moving out that manure.
あんたたちの味覚はヴァンパイア並みなの？よくそんな恐ろしいもの食べられたわね。
Did you acquire your taste buds from a vampire? You could still eat despite such nauseating conditions. Back then, I was just grateful to have anything to eat. I simply swallowed the food whenever I felt hungry, without taking the time to taste them at all.
わかるわ。私もお腹がすくと臭いネズミの血まで一気に吸ってたもの。
That's true. I can suck out the blood from a smelly rat in one go if I'm famished. Wow, your eating habits are more disgusting than mine.
長く生きてるんだから、その分嫌なことも経験してるわ。
I have lived for a long time, so I have experienced a lot of unpleasant things. Lived for a long time? Speaking of which, I have been talking about my past all the while. How about yours? Can you share it with me?
私の昔話。
My past. She mutters that set of words and leans her head on my shoulder
一
again.
番大事なことは昼間話したわ。
I've told you about the most important things this morning. My ears are telling me that her voice is moving up my neck. What a wonderful feeling.
その後は可愛い女の子のふりをして人間たちの庇護を利用し続けた。そうやって人間界で徐々に自分の足場を築いていったわ。それでも自分がヴァンパイアであるという事実に直面しなければならない時がやってくる。
As for the rest, I pretended to be a cute young girl later on and kept making use of people for help and protection. Little by little, I could find my footing among humans, but I still couldn't face the fact that I have always been a
と
vampire.
ある家族の家に住まわせてもらっていたある日、その家に泥棒が入ったの。私は怖くて思わず彼を殺してしまった。一度噛みついたら止められなくて彼の血を吸い尽くしてしまったの。当然その場にいた家族は怯えたわ。みんな私の前にひざまずいて見逃してくれと懇願した。その夜、私はその家を飛び出した。
In one instance, I took up lodging at someone's place and a thief broke inside. I was afraid and killed him by accident because I couldn't stop when I beat him and sucked all of his blood. The whole family who allowed me to stay there were frightened by it. They knelt down and begged me to spare them, so I had to flee at night.
もう人間に頼って生きるのはやめようと思ったわ。そして近くの山に逃げ込んだ。
After I left that place, I decided to stop relying on humans and I went to hide in the nearby mountain
最
forest.
初はウサギやリスみたいな小動物を捕まえて人間の血の代わりにしようと思った。でも血の量が少なすぎて効果も人間の血ほど続かない。お腹いっぱいにもならない。でもクマみたいな大きな動物に手を出す勇気もなかったの。
At first, I tried to catch small animals such as rabbits and squirrels and sucked their blood as a substitute for human blood. Although the blood was unusable, it was too little and far less effective than human blood. It was very hard for me to eat my fill, but I didn't dare to provoke the bigger animals such as wild bears.
だから次に私は山林に出没する強盗や山賊を襲うことにした。彼らの心配なんて誰もしないから気兼ねなく襲えたわ。
So I tried to hunt the brigands who inhabited the mountain forest. No one would care if they lived or died. For this reason, I could kill them anytime.
そのうちたくさん血を吸うと強くなれることに気づいていくつかの能力を身につけた後、私は狩りの範囲を広げることにした。
Later, I became more powerful after sucking a lot of blood. I realized that my abilities had improved, so I began to expand my hunting ground.
それから私よりも長く生きているヴァンパイアに出会ったの。彼はヴァンパイアのことをたくさん教えてくれたわ。飛行能力を身につけたり、吸血の効率を上げる方法や天雷を避ける方法は彼から学んだの。
Then I met an old vampire. He taught me a lot about these supernatural beings. I learned how to fly, improve on my blood-sucking abilities, avoid the lightning from the heavens, and such.
多くのヴァンパイアは成長できないまま天雷に殺されてしまう。彼に出会えたのは運が良かったわ。彼に教えられた方法で私は何度も天雷を避けることができて、それからもどんどん強くなっていった。
Many of my kind were struck dead by that lightning before they could develop. But I managed to avoid it many times thanks to the guidance from that vampire veteran. Hence, I became more powerful.
そしてますます強欲になった私は血の他にも富を求めるようになった。私はお金に取りつかれた貴族たちに目をつけたわ。そして自分の容姿と能力を使って彼らからたくさんのものを奪った。
I also became more greedy and hungered for wealth in addition to blood. I began to set my sights on those nobles who were obsessed with money. I made use of my appearance and abilities to steal a lot of things from them.
そんなことをしていたら、ついに大陸のほとんどの国の貴族たちに多額の懸賞金をかけられて、大勢のヴァンパイアハンターに追われることになったわ。しょうがないから、最後に王様の王冠と杖を奪って新大陸に移り、それを売って家に帰ったの。
Eventually, many countries' nobles in the old continent placed bounties to capture me, and even hurt a lot of vampire hunters. Left with no choice, I stole a king's crown and scepter, fled to the new continent, and traded all my stuff for a mansion.
その家が前に行ったところよ。それからは同じことね。吸血に強盗、そして地下室を財宝でいっぱいにして店内を避ける準備をしていたの。そういえば。
You know that place? We went there earlier. After that, I returned to my old ways. Suck people's blood, rob others, fill the vault in that mansion with treasure, and prepare a place to evade the lightning from the heavens. Speaking of which...
風呂に隠れていた時、銃を持った騒がしい奴らが近くに来たの。そいつら、きちんとした制服を着ていて、きっと政府が軍を送って私を包囲するつもりなんだと思ったわ。
A bunch of extremely noisy people with guns had even run to a place near my hole in the tree where I was hiding from the lightning back then. They were dressed in very neat uniforms, and I thought the government had sent their army to surround me. Wait a minute, extremely noisy people with guns dressed in very neat uniforms? Is she referring to those aliens? My guy, you still did not realize she saved your booty. What did you do to them?
もちろん片付けたわ。店内に撃たれる危険もあったけど、奴らを放置したら結局ウロが見つかっちゃうしね。
Of course I dealt with them. I was taking a risk by going out, when the lightning could strike me anytime, but I would find my hiding place sooner or later if I allowed them to comb the area. Is this quite a coincidence? A real coincidence?
何よ、大声出して。
What's wrong with you? Why are you yelling so much? You saved me, but you didn't know at that time.
あんたを助けたなら知らないわけないでしょ。
How could I save you without knowing about it? No, that was the only time you didn't know about it.
いつのことよ。
Oh, when? That group of people in neat uniforms you described, they weren't rushing to your hiding place. They were running towards me, and they wanted to kill me before you followed them. Those men were scouts from Ýarli that Mr. Cook and I had encountered. Huh? She's surprised this time. They didn't want us to return and report on their movements, so they kept up their pursuit. They didn't use their muskets because it was raining at that time, but I'd also lost my way and I continued to run somewhere in the forest. Just when they were about to catch up, something attacked them out of the blue. That's why I could escape. Come to think of it, that must be you.
なるほどね。
I see. Her facial expression suddenly closed over.
私のしもべに手出しするなんて。知ってたらあんな奴ら八つ咲きにしてやったのに。
They actually dared to lay a finger on my servant. If I'd known earlier, I would have cut them to pieces. Yella exclaims while gnashing her teeth. Not really, I had nothing to do with you at that time.
何の関係もない？命名のうちにも店名があるの。あんたと私の関係はとっくに神様が決めてたのよ。
Nothing to do with me. God works in mysterious ways, and He has decided on a relationship a long time ago. God? By the way, what do you know about the lightning from the heavens? How come there's such a predestined curse?
私も知らないけど、強いて言うなら自然の均衡を保つためじゃないかしら。
I don't know, but if I have to guess, it is a balancing act from nature. Balancing act?
恋愛がなければ、ヴァンパイアはいつまでも好き勝手に活動できて、新しいヴァンパイアが生まれ続ける。ヴァンパイアの能力に対して人間は圧倒的に不利。あっという間に世の中ヴァンパイアだらけになっちゃうわ。
If the lightning from the heavens didn't exist, the vampires could carry out their wanton acts and create new ones non-stop based on their supernatural abilities. The humans would be wiped out before long because they had no advantage in numbers to oppose them. That's true. Heaven is really just by giving humans a way to
天
survive.
雷に打たれたらどんなに強力なヴァンパイアでも跡形なく灰になってしまうわ。
Once a vampire is struck by that lightning, he or she will crumble into ash and leave no trace behind, no matter how powerful. The lightning is so formidable.
そうじゃなきゃこの世界に人間の居場所があるはずないでしょ。
Otherwise, how could humans survive in this world? She shrugs her shoulders. True, humans are really weak if we compare them to vampires, and can only survive under heaven and the Mother of Light's protection.
弱い？
Weak? She knits her eyebrows and stares at me. After a few seconds, her brows relax. She's even smiling mischievously at me.
天雷が来る前、ヴァンパイアは撃たれる確率を低くするために自分の能力を隠すの。つまり弱くなるってこと。普通の人間より弱いかもしれないわ。だから今あんたが何かしても私は抵抗できないかもね。
Vampires would usually hide their features before the lightning arrives to reduce the likelihood of getting hit by it. Their physique would become so feeble that they might even be weaker than an ordinary human. When that happens, I can defend against anything you may want to do to me. Can defend?
試してみる？
Would you like to try? No, no need. I swallow my saliva and shake my head.
昔はヴァンパイアハンターという職業があって、そいつらは天雷を利用して隠れたヴァンパイアに奇襲をかけるの。
In the past, there was a profession called vampire hunters. They specialized in launching surprise attacks on vampires who were hiding from the
こ
lightning.
の時代にそんな職業があるかわからないけど、
I wonder if this kind of people still exists nowadays.
もしそいつらがここに来たら、あんたは絶対に一人で逃げるのよ。あいつらはヴァンパイアに関わる人間を見逃したりしないから。
If they come after me, you need to run away. They will not spare anyone involved with a vampire. I shake my head again. How could I possibly run
ど
away?
うかしら。逃げなくてもおむなししちゃうかもしれないわ。
Then I didn't say it accurately enough. Even if you don't run away, you might even wet your pants from fright on encountering them. Nonsense, even if I want to flee. I will bring you along with me, but I'm still
どう
curious.
したの？
Why? Why does heaven look after humans so well? For example, people will also slaughter livestock anytime, and even start wars against their own kind. How come they aren't cursed? Is the lightning from the heavens really from
わ
heaven?
からないわ。私の知る限りでは、天雷は天からの呪いで、永遠に不変で、いつも必ずやってくる。前はどうしてこんな呪いがあるのか気になっていたけど、先輩ヴァンパイアの彼もそれは知らなかった。何度も経験するうちに、真実はどうあれ、天雷は自然の法則なんだって思うようになったわ。
I'm not sure about this. As far as I know, the lightning is a curse from heaven. It never changes, and will always arrive on schedule. I was also curious about it in the past, but even that veteran vampire I knew had no idea either. After surviving many of those instances, I stopped caring about the lightning's actual origins, and simply regarded it as a law of nature. That vampire you met earlier, where did he
わ
go?
からないわ。ヴァンパイアはめったに集まったりしないの。虎みたいなものね。みんな見つかるのを恐れて身分を隠して生活してる。大勢でいれば暴露される可能性もあるしね。
No idea, vampires are just like tigers, and they hardly gather. Often hide their identities because they fear being found out. They're more likely to give themselves away if their numbers are too
それ
many.
に天雷の存在もある。私たちもバカじゃないから集団でいるなんて自殺行為はしないわ。
Besides, the lightning from the heavens still exists. As long as we don't have a stupid one among our kind, we won't go near others and court our own deaths. What about that old vampire? Both of you aren't
い
companions?
や、一度天雷から逃れた後、彼には会ってないわ。灰になってしまったのかも。
No, I never saw him again after I avoided the lightning at one time. He might have already turned to ash. That's really tragic. As we talked about our past, fatigue gradually led to drowsiness. I drifted off to sleep at different times after someone said she was so tired. Then I woke up abruptly when I could feel my pants getting wet after some time. I was worried I had to wet myself, then I realized that the water level in the drains had risen until it overflowed and spread to the floor we were sitting on. Oh my. Damn! The rain outside is heavier than I thought, and the water level down here is rising faster than the eye can follow. The sewage from the canals was rushing across the floor only a second ago. Now it is reaching up our shoes. Yala, wake up, quick! Yala didn't wake up despite my shouts and the rushing rainwater. Looks like she's really vulnerable now, but she's in a deep slumber. This one though, if we stay here, we will certainly drown in the dirty water. I quickly carry her on my back. She's still as light as before. Next I head towards areas that aren't flooded while laying against the wall. The murky black water in the drain beside us looks like the river Styx in the legends where our souls may be slowed by it if we fall inside. I just moved a short distance, and the water has already reached my ankles. Each step becomes difficult as if I'm trying to get out of a marsh. At this rate, we're going to drown here before we know it. What should I do? If we leave the sewers, we won't be struck by the lightning from the heavens, but we will drown if we stay. And I don't want to die in this sewage. I shake my head and try my best to clear these unpleasant thoughts of despair. I should press on and see whether there is a turning point. Maybe there are places higher up in here. Keep going. My breathing is getting heavy, and my arm muscles are starting to hurt from carrying Yela. I would have exercised it more if I had known earlier. I mutter to myself and continue forward. After walking for some time, a set of steps appear in the distance. It's not a set of rungs for people to climb up. It's a staircase made of solid stone instead. I hurry across as if I have found a lifeline. After climbing the staircase, I see a small catwalk extending outwards in front, and it ends at a locked, red metal door with the words "Maintenance Room" written on it. I thought we can't enter that room to rest. Our current position is elevated, and we shouldn't have any problems for a while. Therefore, I place Yela on the walkway and cover her with the mat to allow her to rest. She's curled up in the blanket, and her breathing is very shallow, just like that time I first met her inside the tree. Now that I have laid her down, I step back to massage myself and relieve my aching muscles. Squeak! Is there a mouse? I seem to have stepped on something soft. A small black animal cries and scurries away from my feet before jumping off the catwalk. What a fright! On taking a closer look, I realize the animal is just a dirty rat. Why are we back here? What the hell? Fine, I'm not afraid of rats anyway. The rat stops in front of the rushing water below, after leaving its territory that I have snatched from it. At this moment, boom! A deafening sound arises, and a blinding light pierces through the holes in a manhole cover somewhere in the distance to illuminate the entire underground tunnels in a flash. Everything around me turns white. When I regain my vision, I notice that rat wandering beside the water below is lying in a strange position on the stone steps. Its forelimbs are still, and black smoke is emanating from its body. Is that lightning just now? It traveled inside through the dolge and struck the rat dead. Goosebumps appear on my skin and my head hurts. Yela! I quickly turn around in alarm. Yela is still sleeping peacefully. She doesn't seem to have changed much. I have a sigh of relief. Would certainly be struck dead from below if I had arrived here any later. I took comforting thoughts to arise after a traumatic experience. Sorry, little rat. I mourn briefly for that poor rat which sacrificed itself for us. Then I take off my wet shoes and trousers, wearing it, and place them at one side to dry. Only now I do understand the benefits of wearing skirts. Yela's body is still dry because I carried her on my back earlier. Only her shoes and her dress are wet. I wring the edges of her dress and use the mat to wipe her feet dry. Her dainty legs feel silky smooth, and her skin is wet as snow along with a mild fragrance. What am I thinking? I lick the bottom of my lips and clench my fist to resent the urge. Then lean against the railing and sit down beside her. She's very vulnerable now, and the lightning hasn't ended yet. I can't afford to relax and daydream. It's so cold. Cinnamon buns, I do apologize, but the stream did last quite longer than the last times, I think. And I'm a tad tired. I'm gonna end the stream here. But I'm sure I'm gonna continue this game, I think tomorrow, right away. Wait. Please don't leave just yet, as I'm going to raid someone, alright? I hope you enjoyed the stream overall, and that I'm gonna keep your attention on the game as I'm ending here abruptly, so that you will continue viewing the stream of tomorrow. So yeah, this time it was even more eventful. This game did manage to make me feel some feels. Oh, that doesn't sound right, but yeah. I did not expect it to have like a ton of dramatic pieces, parts, sections that I would find emotional to me, because overall at first when the dramatic parts did happen, I thought that they were a tad like forced inside the story, because overall it was a light-hearted story, but after all I was interested in some parts that were a bit more serious indeed. I wanted to know more about Yella, about the curse itself, how she ran away. I also did like that part. At first it felt like a tad too much, that one in particular to me. But then it felt like it fit well the story, in my opinion. I hope you did enjoy the game as well as the stream overall. Wait a second, since I'm gonna try and see who is streaming right now. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna rate ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ, a PNG tuber that is currently streaming some art. It was nice and pleasant. Thank you kindly. So, this is the raid message to copy paste. Keep your raid for Gyepi Day, so that they will have a Gyepi Day. We are raiding ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ. I'm not sure how to pronounce that actually. Yeah. Let's bring over the viewers to them. And we're gonna see each other tomorrow, as I'm going to try to stream every day during Spooktober, as I mentioned. In case a stream won't happen, I will warn you beforehand, pretty much like I do warn you before actually streaming. And yes, thank you ⴰᴍᴜ for all that you're doing. Thank you for stopping by, for doing the stream, for keeping me company, for all the support and whatnot you're offering to me. It is always very important to me, and I really cherish my community so far. And I enjoyed my time overall with you. So let's begin the raid. We're gonna see each other tomorrow. So the raid is about to begin. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.